What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. We're not even going to read through the schedule today because, one, I'm terribly late, and two, we have like 20 different articles of news today. So it's a surprise. But we're going to read through the chat really quick, and we'll go ahead and get things started. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Zero? What's up, Russell? What's up, Guess Some J? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, 10 Man? What's up, J Spray? And what's up, Astro Hammer? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone over on Rumble? AR16, you were first today. I appreciate you racing the chat, AR16. What's up, MU? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tony Rez? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Spicy K? Let me see. What's up, Turbo? What's up, Paul? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on Rumble. Also, hit that like button, see if you can get us on the front page. And what is up, everyone over on Kick? What's up, Meta? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom. And what is up, everyone over on the GoofTube? Toy Mafia, you were first over here. What's up, Sean? Happy freedom. And what is up, everyone over on X? Let's get this pulled up. Come on now, do thing. There we go. What's up, Wayward? Happy freedom. I'm not late. You are, Wayward? Well, we're all late. We're late today. I know that. Either way, let's go ahead and start off with this first video. We got a couple videos here where we're just going to probably skim through them. Like I said, we got a ton. We have a ton of videos today. So this first one is titled 200-foot flagpole paid for by President Trump. Now, before we get into this, I want to remind you, hooligans, really quick, we have these Trump was right about everything t-shirts. Now, this design was created by Alistair, and Alistair is a badass in just about everything he does. So I will be dropping his link in all of the chats for you hooligans to have the opportunity to hire him for your creative needs, because if you think it, he can create it. Now, this design does come in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, pullover hoodies, zipper hoodies, coffee mugs, dog tags, and we've made long sleeve shirts out of this design. Today I got on the Happy Freedom tank top. We got lots of items and lots of designs over at the merch store. I'll be dropping all the links in the chats while we're watching this first video. Okay, like I said, it's a very short video there, but that is there's actually two flagpoles. You can see the first one, but there's actually one in the back of the White House, behind the White House, I guess is what I'm trying to say. 200-foot flagpole paid for by President Trump. Doesn't even get a salary. Love our patriot president. Now, we knew last week that he was going to be having that stuff installed, and there it is. Promises made, promises kept, and all of that. We'll go ahead and get into this next one because that's just for funsies. This next one is new Trump executive order aims to boost AI usage in classrooms. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but it's what we have to work with. Let me see. Yeah, let's do this. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into this. Once again, this is new Trump executive order aims to boost AI usage in classrooms. Go ahead and hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Signed an executive order aimed at advancing artificial intelligence in K-12 schools. Michael Kratsios is the White House Director of the Office of Science and Technology Policy, I should say, and he joins me now. Michael, it's sort of an interesting question from me. If I walk into a classroom 2 years from now, what will I see? Will AI be in that classroom, and how will it be in there?
Well, thank you so much for having me. A lot has changed even from the moment that ChatGPT first came out a few years ago. Yeah. Initially, schools were a little bit reticent to allow students to use it, and now we're recognizing that this is a technology that every student will, in some way, shape, or form, be using in the way that they go through their educational journey. And it's something that's going to continue in college and so on. So the president took action yesterday in order to set up a new executive order, which is going to push forward a plan to ensure that all of our K-12 students have the tools that they need in order to thrive in this 21st century economy.
Are we going to teach them how to use AI?
Well, it's really two things. I think you need to work both on the teacher side of the equation and also on the student side of the equation. So on the teacher side, you have to make sure that the teachers are equipped with the tools that they need in order to, one, be able to wield the tools themselves in the way they educate our students, and two, be able to teach the important AI skills to students. And on the other side of the equation, we want to have our students to be skilled up with this advanced technology so that they can thrive in whatever jobs they go on to pursue. And what we've done in the executive order is, one, we have essentially established a task force which is going to drive forward the Presidential AI Challenge. So this is something we're very excited about in order to get students from all across the country, across K through 12, working on very tough, challenging AI topics. And it's going to culminate in an event here at the White House next year, where we'll bring kind of the best and brightest from around the country to showcase what they've been working on. The second piece, which I think is so important in order to get this right, is to bring together industry and academia and K through 12 and government together through public-private partnerships in order to create these new tools that are going to be leveraged by our teachers and students across the country.
A quick one here. Michael, scientists are reportedly fleeing the country as President Trump cuts funding for research projects. There's a Rolling Stone headline on the screen. What's your response to that? Are scientists fleeing the country?
The United States is the best place in the entire world to do research and development and to grow businesses. Everyone wants to come here. We have the deepest capital markets. We have the best venture capital community. We have the best academic institutions. We have the best schools. So I continue to believe that America will be forever the place that everyone in the world wants to come to do great research and ultimately to commercialize their products.
Michael Kratsios, thank you very much indeed for joining us this morning from the White House. We do appreciate it. So come back soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So they want to put AI in the classrooms. We'll see what that's like. Just give me a second here, dealing with technical crap. All right. I don't know how they're going to implement AI in the classrooms, because I feel like teachers, they're not as smart as we give them credit for. Most of the time when we're covering teachers, they are trying to keep secrets from parents. They're trying to indoctrinate children and stuff like that. And I feel like the ones that aren't trying to do that, they're not really up to date with the times. From my experience, most teachers are just people who copy pages out of a book and they have an answer sheet and that's it. They're not even proficient in whatever subject they're teaching in. Now they're going to have to get familiar with AI to teach kids how to use AI, so when kids get out of school, they might have a chance at using AI. I don't know how they're going to do that, though, but it's an interesting idea, and it's also a Trump executive order, so we'll see how it goes. Next up, U.S. urges Mexico to prevent screwworm parasite from crossing the border. This is some apocalyptic sounding crap. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about AI in the classrooms, as well as the 200-foot flagpole paid for by President Trump. Now, I saw Russell saying that he doesn't think the flag's actually up. I just went and looked on X. I'm not seeing it posted by the official White House, but it's circulating. There's images, and then there's also that video being passed around. So I don't know if it's AI or not. I thought it was legit, but maybe it's not. Either way, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about all of it. Astro Hammer, my internet's been garbage today. Internet is not reliable. I will say that. What's up, Pumpkin? Happy freedom to you. Trapper screwworm happens every year. Does it? I was wondering if this is some new thing or not. What's up, Winston? Happy freedom. Winston, will a government AI robot try, let's see, will the AI robot teachers try making the kids gay? I don't know. It's hard to say. It depends who programs it. You guys aren't... What is going on with Rumble? Are we having issues with Rumble? It seems like some people can't see the live. I can see it. I don't know. Weird. What's up, Disco? Happy freedom. Weird. I wonder if Rumble is having issues. Screaming Eagles having issues with Rumble. Weird. I wonder what's happening. Free the text and Rumble works perfect on the webpage. I've been telling people that for over a year at this point. I don't even use the app. I just have the app for notifications. Otherwise, I don't use it at all. Paul, Rumble's good for you. Happy freedom to you, Paul. Well, we'll see how it goes. Meta, trying to score some Skittles to pull through. I know, we were really late today. What's up, Sean? What's up, Mana? What's up, Tweety Bird? Happy freedom. What's up, Salty Ginger? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Nobilis? Nobilis, you're not having any problems on Rumble? It seems kind of hit or miss. What's up, Scott? What's up, Diggs? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Spirit Matter? Oh, that's interesting, Zero. I didn't even think about checking that. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. You cannot see the 200-foot flagpole. I don't think that's what that is, that tall white thing. I think that's on top of the White House. I don't think that's behind it. Yeah, I think the video might be AI. That's really crazy because there's a lot of people sharing it. Weird. Yeah, I think you're right. Interesting. Yeah, Russell, I just pulled it up. You guys got Rumble working now or what? Drop a 1 in the chat if you guys can see me and hear me on Rumble. I don't know what the deal is. I'm not having problems on my end. It has something to do with Rumble, I guess. Sean, Tuesday. I thought it was Monday. I don't know what you're talking about. Did I say it was Tuesday? I don't know what day it is. I didn't think it was Monday or Tuesday. Ten Man, I think you got to clear your cache. Yeah, Meta, there is a lot of news today. I'm extremely stressed and sick to my stomach, but that's not part of the news. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this next one. This next one's titled, U.S. urges Mexico to prevent screwworm parasite from crossing the border. Now, they're trying to make a big deal out of this. I've never heard of this before. And we'll see. Leave it to News Nation and tell us how scared we should be. Either way, hit that like button if you got one, and let's get into this.
The fight to stop a flesh-eating parasite from spreading to the U.S. is ramping up. The USDA is now warning Mexico that all livestock imports will be halted if it doesn't work with the U.S. to stop the spread of this new world screwworm. It's also known as the man-eater fly. Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins saying that safety of our food supply is at risk without action now. News Nation's Mills Hayes is here with the very latest on this. Mills, what do we know about this parasite?
Hi, Natasha. Well, Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins sent a warning to Mexico this weekend. She is promising to cut off beef imports from Mexico if the country doesn't step up its efforts to stop the spread of this flesh-eating parasite. The New World screwworm is a flesh-eating fly whose larvae can destroy livestock populations. In a letter to the Mexican ambassador to the U.S., Secretary Rollins threatened to block the importation of live cattle, bison, and horse if Mexico doesn't step up to U.S. demands. Right now, to combat these parasites, the USDA uses aircrafts to fly over farms and release sterilized insects. These sterile flies breed with wild screwworms, ultimately eradicating the species. Rollins is calling on Mexico to allow daily SIT operation flights, extend flight clearances from 60 days to at least a year, cut import taxes, and appoint a person to work with the USDA's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service to cut through red tape. National Cattlemen's Beef Association president and Nebraska cattleman Buck Wyburn says if these screwworm, if they reach American farms, it could cost farmers millions of dollars a year. Between the 1930s and the 50s, the USDA says that farmers lost up to $100 million every year due to these infestations, and Mexico has until Wednesday to respond, or the U.S. says that they will ban beef imports once again, and we could see even higher beef prices if that happens, Natasha.
Wow. All right, Mills Hayes with that report tonight. Thank you.
Thank you for...
Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't think we need these imports from Mexico if they're going to be giving us meat with parasites in it and livestock and all that. I don't know. We don't need those problems. We got enough problems over here. So I don't know. I've never heard of screwworms. Somebody said in the chat just a moment ago that this is not a new thing. They're talking about stalling out for potentially a year, and then they say, oh, it's going to make the prices go up, which is a little jabby jab at the tariffs, because, of course, they're always saying that the tariffs are going to make it so we can't afford food. We'll be lucky to eat the bugs. Next up, a Canadian man was caught. A man has caught poll workers bringing boxes of unsealed ballots home with them. Now, today, I believe, is Canada's election. I'm not sure if they're voting for prime minister or what it is. I think it was Kevin asking me about it. And I just randomly came across this video. It seems like the Democrats in Canada are playing some of the same games they play here in the U.S. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about these screwworms. Why did they name them that? It could have been anything. Could have been anything. Let's name the flesh-eating worms screwworms, because if they get you, you're screwed. Zero, oh, be scared. Yeah, News Nation, they're always telling us to be scared. Russell, as long as we don't get camel spiders, fuck them. Yeah, camel spiders are gross. I remember seeing propaganda pictures back when the Iraq war was like a new thing. And they were like holding up spiders that were like this big. And they were like, yeah, these are camel spiders. And I remember for the longest time thinking that you could wake up with a spider this big just laying on top of you, eating your guts out. Then I realized that camel spiders are like this big, which is still terrifying. But they're not like a manhole cover. And so, I don't know. I'm just terrified of them at this point after so long of believing the propaganda. Guess when you hit 60, it's no longer a screwworm. It's just a worm. Yeah, I suppose. This is hilarious. Guess I'm just made this. It says, Jeff disguised as one of the 7 dwarfs. Happy. No, I wouldn't be happy. I'd be grumpy. I've known that forever. I'm the grumpy one. Russell, the flagpole video is also where they land Marine One. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even realize that. Oh, Zero, why'd you have to do that? Why you gotta post a spider in the chat? Everyone bitches when we drop titties in the chat, but nobody bitches when we got spiders. I don't get that. What's up, Bill Clay? Happy Freedom. Done. Worms are nasty. They'll burrow in your feet if you walk barefoot in the wrong place. That is grody. I don't go barefoot outside. Even when I go to the beach, I wear boots. I'm just weird. So much trauma in my life that it's just made me weird. Pumpkin, they're ugly worms. Have you ever seen a worm that's not ugly? Because I haven't. They're all ugly. I've never seen a pretty worm. You calling my worm ugly? Air 16, spam spiders are the worst. They are. Wait a minute, spam spiders? That's different. I didn't know. See, it's one more reason not to eat spam. Free the Gatex, and I watched a video of 2 Marines in the barracks tearing apart their room trying to find a camel spider. One of them had saw. Yeah, Free the Gatex. I mean, the right thing to do is just burn it down. You know, cleanse it with fire. Hey, thanks for being here, Trapper. Free the Gatex, and they look like screws. I mean, I guess. I think they could have put more creativity into it than that. Trapper, just make Mexican and South American beef go up. More for American beef. They say that we sell more burgers than we have livestock. They've been saying that for a long time. Ever since the pink paste came out, when they were telling everybody that the chicken nuggets at McDonald's are like pink paste, and they were saying McDonald's alone sells more burger than we could supply. So where does it come from? But, you know, we hear a lot about imported beef and stuff like that, so I don't know. For the Texan, I don't do beef. You don't like beef? What do you eat instead? You just eat chicken all day? Stoner Rumble Rick, where are you? If we're still having issues, I will tag Rumble Rick and see if he can come hang out with us for a second, see what's going on. Shroomish, the only thing I kill in this world is spiders and flies. Yeah, you can't let the spiders live. You just can't. You might be next. You never know. Mac Daddy, it's got to have something to do with Rumble. What the hell is that, Zero? Screwworms are easier to say than... I don't know why the hell I thought I was going to be able to say that. I don't even know what the hell that is. It's one of those words we looked up during the voice chat, isn't it? No, it's not. That's... I don't know if you guys could read this at the top here. This. That's what the screwworm's name is, I guess. It's like they just smacked the Scrabble pieces off the board. I don't even know how to say any part of that. The Hamina Vorax. I almost made my furniture start floating around the house. I don't know. I'm not going to try that again. God doesn't like witchcraft. For the Texan, McDonald's sells more chicken than any chicken place, and it don't taste good. Chicken from McDonald's don't taste good. Nothing from McDonald's tastes good, I suppose. Disco, McDonald's says American beef. They don't mention that it is South America or Central America as well as North American beef. Yeah, Disco, that's true. I didn't even think of that. Meta, Jeff Mack has become a pensive dwarf. Yeah. More or less. What's up, Master Meatball? Happy freedom to you. Good old ivermectin. Mm-hmm. Let's get you a little horse paste. What's up, Killer J? Happy freedom. Sean, I don't do McDonald's except for maybe breakfast burrito. Do they still do the breakfast burritos? I heard they're coming back with the chicken snack wraps, which is like the only good thing that McDonald's ever had. Noble is, people always use the term America to describe the United States. We are not America, we are the United States. Yeah. What's up, Visions? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Tactical? What's up, Dabs? Happy freedom to you. Dabs, are you not seeing stuff over on Rumble too? I don't know what's going on with Rumble. It's like hit or miss. What's up, Devin? Happy freedom to you. Because they screw up the price of meat. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. GQ, try getting Rumble online. Let me just prove some shit to you guys. I hate having to do this. It's like I'm an asshole. I'm not an asshole. I'm just... it's doing the thing. That's Rumble. This is Rumble. We're watching Rumble. We're watching Rumble do the Rumble thing. Watch, just give it a second. You can see me hold. Oh, it looped. Interesting. Interesting. That must be what you guys are seeing. Well, let's tag Rick. Let's tag Rick. Because it is looping. Weird. You guys were all worried we were going to fall into some third dimension and shit. Hold on. We're going to tag Rick and see if we can figure some stuff out. If I could spell. Just a second, you hooligans. Trying to get things fixed. I want everybody to have a good time on the live. Alright, I just tagged Rumble Rick. We'll see what he says. He'll probably pop up. I mean, I never know. He could be busy. I don't know. But if he's not busy, I'm sure he'll pop up. Anyways, reading through a little bit more, and I'll let you guys know if I see an update from Rumble Rick. Russell. Akakalomira hominavorax. Wingardium Leviosa. Like, I don't know, Russell. It's a screw worm. Screw it. It's the worm. That's how they got to it. Hair Juicer steak and egg and cheese bagel from McDonald's are fantastic. How much are they, though, Hair Juicer? I was just saying the other day, I like getting the bagel sandwiches. I haven't had McDonald's breakfast in a while, but the last time I did, I got the sausage, egg, and cheese bagel sandwich. It was like $7 or $8. Russell, I'm decent with scientific names. I think that's right. I believe you, Russell. I believe you. What's up, Tori Wayne? Happy Freedom. Hey, thanks for being here, Guessam. Tori Wayne, bacon, egg, and cheese bagel is the best. I like the sausage, egg, and cheese. To each their own. 10-man Rumble Rick, where are you? Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if he comes and hangs out with us. Dutton, you're not getting looping on mobile? Interesting. I wish I worked for Rumble. That'd make this a little easier. What's up, Resistance? Happy Freedom to you. Shroomish, I'm going to start calling you Jeffrey. It's been a long time since we've had this talk. I think the last time we had this talk, we were watching Cruising with a Cop. And the protests had just stopped. And it just began quitting out on us. I think it was like 2022, 2021. The only people that call me Jeffrey are the ones that want to ride my wiener. So, like, keep that in mind while you're calling me Jeffrey. I think it's sexy talk, so just know. If I start giving you hard eyes and shit, you know why. What's up, Poetic? Happy Freedom to you. Shroomish, their breakfast is overpriced. I think so, too. For the Gatex and Rumble Rick, is he bringing Marty? I mean, he might. You never know. Bill Clay, it sounds like you're writing an angry letter to the newspaper. No, most of it is backspace. I like write a whole bunch of crap and then I gotta erase all the misspelled words, which is like 9/10 of what I write. You should see me text. It's like I'm trying to push my fat little thumbs right through the phone. And Pumpkin seeing two Jeffs at the same time. I don't know. I know. Too much Jeff going on. Definitely. What's up, Energy Woman? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Cody? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Cadillacs? Happy Freedom. Tori Wayne, my husband is a sausage guy too, but I'm all bacon. I like bacon, but I feel like you're getting your money's worth if you get the sausage patty on the bagel. That's just my opinion. Mac Daddy, my homemade food is the best. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. Oh, I hear you, Cadillacs. I appreciate you being with us. Shroomish, crack me up. It's up to you, Meta. Somebody called me a Nazi the other day, so, compared to that, Jeffrey's not that bad. Master Meatball, Jeff is the 8th dwarf. Pensive? I mean, I don't know. I didn't realize there was 8. I guess, yeah, right? Snow White and the 6.5 dwarfs. What's up, Mike Engel? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Vinny C? What's up, Savage Gaming? Happy Freedom to you. What's up, Jim? First the Rona, now the worm. That's what I was saying. What is your name? We'll go with Zen. Happy Freedom, Zen. What's up, Proud Patriot Girly? Happy Freedom to you. Salty Ginger. I just seen that Taco Bell has chicken nuggets now. I saw that. I don't know if I trust it. You ever go to like China buffet or something like that, some Chinese restaurant, and then you just see pizza or like garlic bread or even hot dogs sometimes? I don't eat that shit. I didn't come to a Chinese restaurant to eat regular ass food. I want Chinese food. And so when I see Taco Bell is selling chicken nuggets, I'm like, I'd have gone to McDonald's or something if I wanted chicken nuggets. I'd have gone somewhere that specializes in chicken nuggets, not Taco Bell. But maybe they're good. I don't know. I heard their fries are good too. You think they're trying to compete with McDonald's? What's up, Ski Jermaine? Happy freedom to you. Oh, we're getting into it. We were just having technical issues, and now we're just pretty much talking about fast food. We'll get back to the news in just a second. Wayward sausage biscuit with side of gravy. That's my cheap hack. Oh, yeah. That does sound all right. Tory Wayne Nazi's thrown around a lot these days. It is. It is. Somebody at the gas station called me a Nazi. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? You ever just want to punch somebody at the gas station? If I had $1, All right, let me see if Rumble Rick wrote me back, and then we'll go ahead and move forward into whatever news we got next. Nope, nothing yet. I'll keep this pulled up over here. Yeah, AR-16. I can't read that out loud, but yeah, it is. What's up, No Ad? Happy freedom. What's up, Plukester? Happy freedom. Del Taco makes awesome cheeseburgers. I've never heard of Del Taco. I don't know if I'd order a cheeseburger, but now, you're kind of talking me into it. I do like cheeseburgers. Kurt, happy freedom. Taco Bell nuggets are good. They are? Man, really? Are they cheap? Oh, I forgot they ain't got their prices on there. I'm gonna have to call up Taco Bell. If they're affordable, I might give them a shot. What's up, Slave Nation? Happy freedom. Want to hear about the child deportation? When I saw that, it was all warm and fuzzy. Yeah, well, it's a controversial topic. Let's see where we are. Oh, actually, it's not too far away. This next one is a Canadian man was caught, or has caught, poll workers bringing boxes of unsealed ballots home with them. Now, Canada's having their election today, like I said, and they got some suspicious activity going on, so I figured we might as well cover it. I believe it was Kevin. I told somebody that I would mention Canada's election today, so I put it on the schedule. After that, we're going to be talking about U.S. children were not deported, says Ron Vitillo, CBP advisor. Now, the thing is they did leave the country, but it wasn't necessarily deportation, but it's a real controversial thing that's coming up. But like I said, next, we're going to get into Canada's election really quick. But before we do, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Let's get this pulled up. Got suspicious activity in Canada's election here. All right, so this guy who's digging in the back of his car, he is handling sealed ballots. Obviously, he's not inside of a building. So let's just go ahead and get into this. Make sure you hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get this rolling.
Box of votes. More boxes of votes. Just in their car, willy-nilly. So even at the early voting places, they send the boxes home with folks?
I'm not sure about the early voting. I didn't work that.
No way. So they send everybody home with a box?
For the early ones?
For what? You got a box?
Yeah. It's empty.
There's no plain empty votes in it?
No, there's nothing.
Why would they send you home with it?
Because you have to bring it Monday morning.
Back to the building that you took it from?
No, to your polling place, wherever you're voting.
So the polling place, let's say in Dundas, does that change on Monday?
Bring it there, yeah, and then at the end of the night, you count the ballots, and then the supervisor takes it to the head office.
Interesting. Find it strange that why would they not just leave them in the building?
Good question. It would be a lot easier.
So where does this go?
Wherever you vote, wherever the zone is. Like Thomas More has a pole. St. Andrew's Church has a pole. And there's a couple others too around here.
Don't you find that a bit odd?
That's the way it is. That's the way it's always been done. I worked the last election too. It was the same.
Okay, so like I said, that has to do with Canada's election. Today is supposed to be the day they were voting, and there's quite a bit of videos like this. There's images of people doing suspicious stuff. Now, like they were saying in their conversation there, this guy is bringing home sealed ballots, a box of sealed ballots. He's like, oh yeah, everybody's doing this. Why? And he's like, why wouldn't you leave it at the building? He's like, well, they told us to take it home. That's not right. That's not right. So it sounds like in Canada, their Democrats are a lot like our Democrats here. We'll see how it goes. I'm not even sure who's running for what over there because I'm not Canadian. But we'll see. I'm sure we got Canadian hooligans that'll probably pop in the chat as time goes on. Maybe we'll get some more word from them. Maybe they saw weird stuff. You never know. Either way, next up, U.S. children were not deported, says CBP advisor Ron Vitello. We'll go with Vitello. But it is a controversial thing because there's lefties out there saying that President Trump is deporting children. And in this video, they're claiming, well, they weren't exactly deported. They did leave the country, but they weren't deported. Now, this is the problem of natural-born citizenship. President Trump signed an executive order to end natural-born citizenship. So if mom and dad's illegal or whatever, and the kids are born here right now, those kids would be considered Americans. If they end natural-born citizenship, then those kids would not be considered Americans. Now, the reason this matters is because if mom and dad's illegal and they get deported, if the kids are Americans, then they're not getting deported, right? Then they're sitting here with no mom and dad. They end up in the system, right? They're in foster care or whatever may happen. If we eliminate natural-born citizenship, then the whole family gets deported. Well, I think what's going on right now is they have options because it's being held just like anything else that President Trump has signed with an executive order. Judges stand in the way left and right. Nothing ever moves forward. Natural-born citizenship is just like that. They signed the executive order. Judges have stopped it. Now it's just in limbo, but people are still being deported. Nobody really knows what to do because we haven't eliminated natural-born citizenship, so we're just rolling along with what we already have, and we got kind of this conflicting rollout that's happening with this agenda. Now, like I said, the left is taking advantage of the situation. They're out there crying all on the internet, claiming that President Trump's a mean orange man that is deporting children and all this stuff. And it's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about what's going on with the Canadian election right now. Calax, yeah, it's a tough situation. Yeah, it is. And the left, like I said, they're taking advantage of the situation, trying to make it sound much worse than it is. Russell, what's a little voter fraud between friends? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, like I said, we'll probably have some Canadian hooligans hopping in the chat later on. Maybe they can give us some insight on anything that they saw while they were out voting today. Zero, no separating families. Yeah. Well, and that's the big thing. Like back in 2020, we saw Antifa crying about kids in cages and stuff like that. And a lot of that had to do with the controversy of deporting parents and having, kids separated from families and all of that. So when President Trump signed the executive order, everyone was saying the whole family gets deported. Well, that didn't go through. And so now they kind of have this questionable stance that's going on. But either way. No ad. Even the conservatives in Canada are cucks, though. So I'm not sure if there's much hope. I seen a poll or a graph or some shit on X. Now, I don't know how accurate it is. If it's anything like our polls, it's complete lies. But they were claiming that the conservatives were doing well till a couple months ago or something like that. And now the liberals are excelling in the polls. Now, that's kind of what it looked like here before the election, and President Trump still won. So I think, we'll just have to see how it goes. Here, 16. I didn't vote or I didn't register to vote in Canada. Yeah, we should have just did that. Why not? Why not? Jay Spray, no one cared when Obama kept them in cages. Absolutely. We were saying that while we were covering the protests. What's up, Rappy? Happy Freedom. I think the whole family should go together. I do too. Kids being in foster care is not a good experience. Pumpkin, who are we voting for in Canada? I don't know. I don't know who the candidates are. For the Texan, are they worried about people tampering with them overnight? I mean, you would think they would have surveillance in those poll places there. So you would lock the ballots up, put them on the table, probably not under the tablecloth like we do here in America during the lockdowns. But you would think it would be safer that way, because how do you know what somebody's doing with those ballots in their house? Done chain of custody? Yeah, well, and that's what they're saying. They're like, oh, well, they told all of us to bring them home. That sounds really weird. Sounds really weird. Done. Just vote for the one that doesn't have a limp wrist. That's a good rule of thumb there. Pumpkin, I'll vote for the one that isn't a commie. Yeah, it's the way to go. Hey, thanks for being here, Tori Wayne. What's up, Sam? Happy Freedom to you. Meta Murdercom's from Canada. I didn't realize that. I wonder if he'll pop. Well, I'm always misgendering people. I wonder if they will pop in the chat later on. What's up, Southern Eagleman? Happy Freedom to you. Visions, Obama built the cages. Yep. What's up, Skulls? Happy Freedom to you. Vinny C, you voted this morning. Everything was pretty much straightforward. Paper ballot, pen. Hell yeah. Sean, you like the McRib? I used to when I was younger, but the last time I got the McRib, it was not good. I don't know why. It was just the sauce was not very good. Mr. Dude, have you seen the Illinois governor is calling for mostly peaceful protests this summer? No, I haven't seen that. Oh, the governor. I can't remember who the governor is. I know the mayor is Johnson or whatever. Jim, are you going to have a no troll Tuesday? I don't know. Today's Monday. Is today Monday? Like, what the hell? It is Monday. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I got to get through today before I worry about tomorrow. Devin the McMac? Oh, no, it'd be too expensive. Well, let me see if Rumble Rick has responded to me yet. Nope, not yet. What is this? Oh, a bunch of nothing. Whole bunch of nothing. Truckload of it. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and move forward here. Like I said, U.S. children were not deported, says CBP advisor Ron Vitillo. Now, like I said, this is a controversial situation because we got these judges standing in the way of President Trump's executive order. And at the same time, we got lefty lunatics lying about what's happening. On top of them saying President Trump's going to deport black Americans. Now they're saying that President Trump is deporting children, American children. So that's the controversy for today. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommiTube, and let's get into this.
Let me now bring in Senior Advisor to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Ron Vitello. Ron, good morning to you. Just to reiterate, these three kids were deported with their undocumented mothers back to Honduras. But I also feel like all hell would break loose if you kept them here in the States and you sent the moms back without them. So it kind of feels like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. What's your take on these deportations?
Well, good morning, and thanks for inviting me. These kids were not deported. Their parent was deported, and they happened to be U.S. citizens living in the United States. And so that parent elected to take those children with her on her deportation flight to Honduras or wherever I think it's Honduras. but they were not deported. As the Secretary of State said in the clip you played earlier, those are U.S. citizens. If they want to come back to the United States to live when they're older or when their mother allows it, that's fine. The mother allowed them to be with her as she was removed from the country.
Yeah. Do you know anything more than we do about this story? Like, are you hearing anything from your sources? Were these mothers, part of a gang, MS-13, trained to Iraqua? Because we've heard the White House reiterate over and over again that they're going to go after the worst of the worst. Is there something that we're missing here about these moms? And should their deportations not be the optics that the administration is going for this early on?
Well, there's a difference in what happened in the 4 years under Joe Biden and what's happening now under the first 100 days of Donald Trump. No illegal alien is excluded from immigration enforcement. These women and others like them are in the system. They've been ordered by a judge, or they're found in the country illegally, and they've been removed. That didn't happen for 4 years, and now the pendulum is swinging back. I think it swung back to the middle. We're now adhering to the rule of law, but people are uncomfortable with it because they haven't seen it for the last 4 years, and now it's happening. Yeah, it's unfortunate that little kids who have parents that make different choices in their lives have to suffer. Just like if I went out and if I had little kids and I went out and did something terrible and the sheriff took me into custody, my kids are going to be alone. Yeah. In this case, this lady elected to bring them with her to Honduras.
And I'm about to play a clip from Tom Homan about that, but let me just ask you, because I think you bring up a good point there. I mean, every day parents are separated from their kids. If they commit a crime, they go to jail. And nobody, cries, you're ripping families apart. Why is this issue so different?
The left, for the last several years, probably decades, have tried to convince Americans that the act of coming across the border illegally without being invited or without being inspected is not somehow a crime. It is, in fact, a federal crime, and it's against the law and the immigration procedures that we have in the United States. We cannot have a sovereign, productive country if we keep the door open for anybody that wants to walk in and claim fake asylum or just decide they want to live in the United States instead of where they come from. We have to stop doing that, and people have to start to understand that it's a violation of the law.
Thank you for watching.
Okay. So like I said, in this situation, the kids were Americans, the mom was not. Mom's getting deported. They gave them the option. You can either take your kids with you or they're going into foster care. And they took their kids with them, right? And then they're honoring their citizenship. When their kids are grown, if they want to come back here or if mom wants to let them come back here, they can come back here. They're Americans. So I feel like they're trying to work with the situation with what they got, trying to make the best of the situation. But like I said, the left is out here making claims that Trump is sending Tom Homan to arrest American children. American children are being deported. And last week we covered idiots claiming that President Trump was deporting black Americans. And they were just going to do that. It's like, this is just lies, blatant lies that's being repeated. And, normies are susceptible to that stuff because they don't know what's going on. Either way, I added a video, not that we needed more news, but I saw you guys bring up the Illinois governor, and I did find the video. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, if that's how you say it, calls for mass protest and disruption. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about children not being deported. Zero. Oh, yeah. Yep. Now, I don't know how that all works because I don't think that they have passports. I don't really know. I wouldn't imagine that the children would have passports right now. But mom's getting deported, so they don't have time to wait around for passports because it doesn't happen very quickly. It takes time and money and effort to get passports. So I'm not really sure how they would, probably just a birth certificate, I suppose. Maybe they would just use, documentation, birth certificate, social security card to try and get back into America. I don't know. That's a good question. Thank you so much, Northern Pike, for that $1 donation over on Rumble. I really appreciate you, Northern Pike. Thank you so much. It says, lurking and rewinding the show, but I would buy a Grumpy Freedom shirt if you made one. Well, I sent it over to Alistair. We'll see what he comes up with. Thank you, Northern Pike. Lisa, what's with a Subaru with the hooligan on the back at the arrest in Colorado? That's not what it is. And I was going to talk about it because we got that on the schedule. It's a hoonigan. sticker, which is Ken Block, right? We all know Ken Block kicked the bucket. That's not the nicest way of saying it, but he was kind of a daredevil of guys. He was a stunt driver and did all kinds of stuff. Got in a snowmobile accident and died. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but his Hoonigan brand lives on, racing and stuff like that. So Hoonigan is a pretty popular brand. I didn't actually know about it until we were already live streaming, and ironically, the same exact font that I used for the Hooligan logo is the same exact font that he used for the Hoonigan logo. And that was just coincidental. That just happened. I don't even know how it happened. But when we first started going live, there was constantly people giving me shit over the logo here because the font is the same. And they were trying to claim that I was ripping off the Hoonigan logo, which is not what was happening. Just random coincidence. Now, I couldn't be sued for copyright or anything like that. You can't copyright hooligan. You're not able to. It's already a word. So I don't worry about that kind of stuff. I'm glad that the blowback has died down. But yeah, that's in that video. We'll be covering it near the end of the live. I think it was 100 people arrested in an illegal nightclub. 100 illegals were arrested in an underground nightclub. And one of the vehicles in the background has a Hoonigan sticker, but you can't see the whole sticker. So if you are a hooligan and you watch that video, you probably assume it's a hooligan sticker, but it's actually a Hoonigan sticker. That's so funny you brought that up, Lisa. Northern Pike, and a grumpy freedom to you. I love that. Pumpkin, let's deport her. Yes. No ad. It actually irritated me when Trump kept emphasizing criminals and not all illegals. Yeah, no ad. I feel the same way. They all got to go. If you're here illegally, you got to go. It's not really that much different than what they were doing in California. You steal $950, you get to walk. You get to leave. But if you steal $951, we're going to arrest you. That doesn't make sense. If you're stealing, you're going to jail. That's what they're doing right now. They cut that whole $950 thing over in California. We covered it. It was, I want to say it was right before inauguration, or maybe it was right after inauguration. And so now they don't tolerate any stealing. And I feel the same way with the deportations. Yeah, we got to worry about the bad guys, like the criminals, the monsters that came across the border, but really everyone who came across the border illegally needs to be thrown out of the country. That's just all there is to it. Whether you came here and committed crime or you just came here and sat on your ass, you still came here illegally and you need to leave. And that's that. And so, yeah, I feel the same way, no ad. What's up, Jack? Happy freedom to you. Told to care. I'm cheating the system. I'm watching on GoofTube, but I'm chatting here. Yeah, hopefully Rumble Rick will see my text. Like I said, he could be busy. He's a busy guy. Ghosty, are we getting a grabber by the Klaus shirt? I'm working on it. I got it typed up. Alistair's really busy right now, but I'm gonna send it to him. I got a whole list of ideas and stuff. Calax, it takes like 10 to 13 weeks to get a passport, but usually if you have a birth certificate and they can verify you, they'll just let you in. Yeah, that's what I kind of... Otherwise, I don't know how they would even let those kids in. Meta... Misgendering people sometimes is okay, just don't transgender them. Yeah, it's weird how wrong I am all the damn time. I'm always like, she's doing this or he's doing that, and then the hooligan replies in the chat, I'm a boy, or whatever, and I'm like, damn it, like, how could I be wrong all the time? Like, I don't get that. What's up, U-Town? Happy freedom, and thank you so much for the bits over on Twitch. I appreciate you, U-Town. Thank you so much. What's up, BM? Happy freedom to you. Savage, you can fly domestically without a birth certificate or ID. very unnerving and scary with child trafficking bringing people into America. Yeah, and the Biden administration was allowing illegals to fly on planes without anything. Just, they were bringing them into secret rooms and allowing them to hang out and stuff until they had a free plane, and then they would just fly them anywhere in the country. They didn't check their luggage. They didn't check anything. They just put them on a plane. Nobody knows if the kids belong to the adults that they were attached to or anything else. Like, there was so much human trafficking that happened in the last 4 years. What's up, Light Rain? Happy Freedom. Slave Nation, they're doing Real ID now. You can't fly anywhere without it. Yeah, we just covered that Friday or Saturday. What's up, SM? Happy Freedom. Larceny versus grand larceny. I'm not sure what they were qualifying it as in California. I'm not really sure, but all I know is they went back. So now if you steal anything from the store, you're looting and all of that, you're getting arrested in California. They shouldn't have waited so long. Like, I don't even know why they thought that was going to be a good idea. What's up, Tim? Happy Freedom to you. Light Rain. Yeah, well, they're kind of spread out. We're having problems with Rumble right now. Jack Biden wasn't in administration. It was a crime spree. Yeah, they hijacked the government. My feed, Newsom wants to run. Yeah. I wonder if Whitmer's going to run too. She just looks like Jack Nicholson playing the Joker. Like, she needs to go sit down somewhere. I can't stand Whitmer at all. She is terrible. She is terrible. And she keeps putting out these weird videos. Like where she had that like half naked girl on her knees and she was feeding her Doritos and stuff. And then she just had that photo op at the White House where she covered her face with the binder. What is going on with her? Is she on fentanyl? Like, what is happening? Anyways, we're going to play this video that we added to the schedule. This is Illinois Governor J.P. Pritzker calls for mass protest and disruption. Send him to prison. He needs to be investigated now. All right, let's get into this.
Never before in my life have I called for mass protests, for mobilization, for disruption, but I am now. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace. They have to understand that we will fight their cruelty with every megaphone and microphone that we have. We must castigate them on the soapbox and then punish them at the ballot box.
Okay, so Illinois governor sounded real tough there. So he thought. Republicans cannot know peace. Okay. And then when bad stuff happens, they act like they didn't tell the public to do that stuff. Like, oh, they're burning down cities. They're like, well, yeah, they're just getting their feelings out. Peaceful protests. Like, yeah, okay. Whatever you say. Next up, George Soros talking bad about President Trump. And then after that, we got Trump hints even bigger tax cuts could be on the table. We might play those back to back because those are short videos as well. But first, we're going to hop in the chat, see what you hooligans think about Illinois governor saying they need mass protests and disruption. Russell Pritzker's political career needs to be done. Yeah, I think when you get to the point where you start telling people to like go and be rowdy in the streets and stuff, you're pretty much cooked at that. You're not doing good. You're just not. Oh, J Spray. Yeah, trying to listen with Bluetooth. Yeah, I've had that trouble before as well. I don't know why it's like that. I've only had problem using Bluetooth while watching videos. Otherwise, usually Bluetooth headsets are the way to go. Pumpkin, I hope he's sorry for that. He might be later on when they go to arrest him for inciting crime and stuff, like AR-16 saying. Incitement is a crime. No one's above the law. That's right. Dutton sounds like he wants the summer to get spicy. I think so. I'm telling you, there's so many symptoms of a spicy summer. I think we are going to be busy this year. Shroomish, I hope Newscomb runs. There's no way he'll win. Looking at what he's done to California. Yeah, but the Democrats lie, cheat, and steal. We'd have to make it too big to rig again. Hopefully we didn't run out of steam, using it on President Trump. Hopefully we can vote in some more red with these midterms, because as you can see, we still have problems. We voted in President Trump, and that's great and all, but all these people are standing in the way. We need to replace these governors and mayors with people that actually care about America instead of people that are lining their pockets with tax doll hairs and contributing to burning down our country. Told to care, Homan said they were going to DNA test kids and parents. Interesting. That's an interesting idea. Jack Whitmer is cartel. She might be. I don't know. And then they staged that whole kidnapping thing with feds. I don't know. I don't trust her at all. Calax, he's worse than what's her face in New York. Oh, Hochul. I always say Hochul, but I think it's actually Hochul. Yeah, and she's terrible too. Hair juicer can't stand Pritzker. He's so fat he broke his femur from walking. I mean, that was his sign. He should go sit down somewhere. Calax, I want AOC to run. I think she is. I think she's going to. There's a lot of people that think that AOC is going to run. I look forward to making fun of her. I don't want to see her win, though. I just don't want to see that. Era 16 put my stars and stripes up today. Salute. That's badass. What's up, my feed? Happy freedom to you. Light Rain, DNA test kids. Imagine finding out that your wife cheated on you at airport security. Well, at least you found out. Most people never do. What's up, Bellum? Happy freedom to you. Bellum, U.S. Embassy can issue an emergency passport as well in minutes. Oh, that's yeah. I didn't even think about going to the embassy and stuff. Maybe that's what they did for the kids. What's up, Mr. Dude? Happy freedom. Stoner uninstalled the Rumble app and reinstalled it. Weird. I don't think it's that. I think it's something going on in their end. I think it's a server issue. Let me see if they have any announcements. I should have checked that first before tagging Rick, but let me see. I don't see anything with that. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything saying their server's down. And like I said, I tagged Rumble Rick. He hasn't wrote me back yet. So they could be looking into it. I don't quite know yet. Either way, like I said, this next one is George Soros talking badly about President Trump, of all people. I think this is one of the people that's like 350 years old collecting Social Security and all that. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
President Trump is a con man and the ultimate narcissist who wants the world to revolve around him. when his fantasy of becoming president came true, his narcissism developed a pathological dimension. President Trump.
So like I'm saying, George Soros here talking bad about President Trump, calling him a con man and a narcissist and all this stuff. I don't think he has any merit to say that. This guy's a terrible person. We don't really need character reference from somebody like that. He's the worst of the worst. We're just going to go ahead and get into this next one because this next one's also a short video. This is President Trump hints even bigger tax cuts could be on the table, which is good stuff here. Now, I think this is from Sunday. Either way, hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
We're going to be taking in a lot of jobs, a lot of plants and factories. So we're going to make a lot of money, and we're going to cut taxes for the people of this country. And it's possible we'll do a complete tax cut because I think the tariffs will be enough to cut all of the income tax. And we're going to start with people making less than $200,000 a year. We're going to...
Okay. So I know the video is kind of cut up a little bit. This is from Fox, their official page and all of that. So I don't know exactly why they cut it up, but either way, President Trump talking about how he believes the tariffs could replace taxes, and they're going to start with people who make less than $200,000, which I think is probably most of us. And so it sounds pretty good. We'll see how it goes. I know there's a lot of people saying that tariffs could not, that we couldn't make enough from tariffs to replace taxes. But I think that's if we're considering the government collecting as much taxes as they do right now. With everything being cut back and all of that, less government should require less funding, you would think. But we'll see how it goes. It's weird because we don't hear nothing about Doge right now. Nothing. They came out that Social Security stuff and they were saying millions of numbers were being illegally used. And then we heard that Social Security had implemented a $1 billion security system to fight against fraud for Social Security, and then we ain't heard about Doge ever since. They just don't want to talk about it. Now Elon's saying that Tesla's doing so bad that he's going to end up having to walk away from government for a while to really focus on helping Tesla out because their profits are plummeting big time. So we'll see what happens with Doge next time we get some news on it. Either way, next up we have Murderers Row. White House lawn gets dramatic makeover. We got a lot of White House videos coming up next. We'll see. We'll probably play a couple of these back to back. But first, we're going to hop in the chat. We're going to see what you hooligans think about George Soros talking bad about President Trump, as well as President Trump talks about even bigger tax cuts. Jay Spray has been pretty quiet on all fronts. Well, right now, they seem to be really focusing on mass deportation. But yeah, haven't heard much about Doge. When was the last time we heard from Ram That Salami, right? He was supposed to be running for governor of Ohio. That was the last we heard of him. Elon's always in the news for one reason or another. I'm trying to think when was the last time we heard them talk about Epstein documents. We talk about it every day, but ain't been in the news in a while. And the last thing they released was, was it JFK files? RFK files? I don't know, one of the Kennedy's files, and that lasted in the news like 12 hours, and that was it. They stopped talking about it. Russell, my cube mate, is officially retired today. Badass. Here, Juicer, Soros was a literal Nazi who fed Jewish people to the Gestapo and said it was the happiest time of his life. Fuck him. Yeah. And then he's out here talking, saying President Trump's a bad guy. Like, I don't know. We're not taking advice from that guy. Zero, Soros is banned in his own country. Yeah, that speaks volumes. Snooks, Soros is the worst kind of piece of shit in the world. I think so. Jay Spray says the guy who spent billions to get his way. Exactly. Cadillac's probably the most evil man alive. We've been hearing about Soros for years, and they even talk about it in the news. Mainstream news talks about Soros. They're like, Soros DEA, blah, blah, or DA or whatever. Soros judge, this, that, and the other. Soros prosecutor. And it's like, if you know they're on the payroll, why are they allowed to continue, being an elected official and all of that? Why are they allowed to keep performing? especially when they're in control of other people's freedom and stuff. It's like no one does anything about it. Now the asshole himself is on the TV calling President Trump bad names. Shroomish Doge hasn't even hit $1 trillion. Elon said like $2 trillion. Huge disappointment. What is the national debt right now? They said it was going to be $2 trillion that Doge was going to give us a break on. And then after inauguration, they claimed that it was going to be $1 trillion, that they didn't think they were going to be able to save us $2 trillion. And right now they're at, I believe, $370 billion. Oh, I can't highlight it. You can't see the mouse, but either way, on the left top corner there in gold underneath the red numbers is the Doge clock. Like I said, $370 billion, saving each taxpayer $3,300. It's a start. We'll see how it goes. They got 4 years, and it may not even take that long. They said that once Doge has eliminated all the fat in the government, Doge itself will go away because it won't have a purpose anymore. My feed, he's so evil his brother doesn't even want him. Isn't there a little Soros going around? Is he got a kid or something like that? I think there's I swear every once in a while in the news I hear about another Soros. But I can't think of what his name is. Jack, rub some tariffs on that, Soros. Yeah. That is so funny. A little tariffs goes a long way. What's up, Never Better? Happy Freedom. Satan Soros calling out Trump ethics. Yeah. What's up, Roy? Happy Freedom to you. Pumpkin, Soros looks like a toad. He does. He looks like his eyes are melting. Told to care about they're doing updates on Rumble. Yeah, it could be. Alexander Soros. He passed the reins over to him. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing about. But anytime I see him in the news, it's like 25-minute clips. I'm like, I don't want to play a 25-minute video, especially because all the information's redundant. I wonder if they do that intentionally so people don't watch it. Shroomish, a lot of fat in the Pentagon and the military. These endless wars are killing us. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Hair Juicer. Yeah, Alex Soros. Russell, Alex Soros is worse than his dad? Oh, man. That's not exciting news. I know that. What's up, Jay Muzu? Happy Freedom. Send George Soros to El Salvador. He's too old. Yes. He would not do well in El Salvador. They got them fools leaned over, walking around with their hands behind their back. Could you imagine Toad Soros out there doing that? They'd have to roll him. They'd just roll him like the Blueberry Girl from Willy Wonka. They'd have to just roll him into El Salvador. Welcome to CCOT, Mr. Soros, Mrs. Soros, however you prefer to be addressed. What's up, Godzilla? Happy Freedom. Vinny C, they need to send George and his weasel son to Guantanamo Bay. I think you're right. We got enough evil in the world. I don't know why they let those people control stuff. Jay Spray, they call him Jorge Soros in El Salvador. Yes. Trapper, Soros slowly succumbs to the overwhelming majority. Hopefully, stress is aging him rapidly. Like I said, he looks like he's 300 years old, but if his son is even worse than him, then I don't know what we're even looking forward to at this point. Either way, like I said, next up we got Murderers Row. White House lawn gets dramatic makeover. It's coming up next, but first we're going to first I want to remind you, hooligans, if you'd like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So you got to go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We got chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live, so definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Let's get this pulled up really quick. Like I said, we got a few videos here from the White House because Caroline Leavitt had 2 press briefings today, and then President Trump went live today, and then there was people doing pressers out in the lawn today, so lots of White House news here. So let me get this pulled up. This first video has got a whole bunch of stuff in it, but we only care about the beginning bits, the little dangly bits. Anyways, like I said, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommentTube, and let's get into this.
You see these signs behind us. All the arrests have been made over the last 100 days. Homicide, child sex abuse, rape and sodomy. The mugshots of those who have been captured and taken off the streets. Why do you want people to see that? Why do you want the press to see that?
Well, look, the mainstream media, as you know, Brian, doesn't want to cover this story. What we've done is get violent criminals and other lowlifes on the street. It's literally a murderer's row here on the lawn of the White House. And these are people that we've taken out of the country since we came into office. Last month, we had the lowest border crossings on record. And that's a result of not new legislation, as Biden said we would need, but just a new president getting the job done. We've reunited over 5,000 children with their families or a safe guardian since we came into office. We're cleaning up our communities. We're getting rid of all these guys. I mean, look at these. These are all heinous crimes. These are violent crimes. That would be a Law and Order episode, and we have to get all of them out of the country.
So yesterday, if you're looking for key Democratic leaders, you'd have to go to the Capitol steps where
Okay, so we're going to play another video that's kind of in the same tone here. They have all these mug shots of illegals that have been arrested in the front yard of the White House today. And, well, I didn't even read the schedule, you guys. 900 illegals were arrested like over the weekend or over the last week or something like that. So that's part of why they got all those mug shots out on the front lawn there. But it's also the first 100 days of President Trump's second term, so they're celebrating that as well. Now, we are a far, far, far away from 25 million illegals being deported, but we're getting a decent start here, I suppose. It's better than nothing, I can say that. This is titled, Illegal Immigration is Not a Victimless Crime. This is Tom Homan, obviously Caroline Leavitt. This is a press briefing that they did at 8:30 this morning. Now, I don't know why they did that. We used to bitch when the Biden administration did that because that means it's only 4 o'clock on the left coast. So that means that everybody in the left coast did not watch this shit live. They just didn't. Nobody woke up at 4 a.m. to see a press briefing with the border czar and Caroline Leavitt talking about monsters being deported and being arrested and stuff. They should have waited to do this. But either way, we got a little clip here. Like I said, this is Illegal Immigration is Not a Victimless Crime from Tom Homan.
The morale of ICE and Border Patrol is at all-time high because they're getting to uphold the oath they took, and they're enforcing the law. Border Patrol and the Biden administration, I met with hundreds of them. They felt like Uber drivers and tourist agents. These men and women joined the ranks of ICE and Border Patrol to enforce the law, make the community safer, and protect national security. I hear it all the time. There's a lot of people in this country who don't like me. I don't care. But when I walk to an airport, I have many people walking up to me and thank me for what I'm doing, and I'm not taking credit for anything. The success of the border and immigration enforcement is President Trump and the men and women wearing that uniform. God bless each and every one of them. But I take a pleasure in seeing it because in 40 years of doing this job, people always want to say, why are you so emotional when you testify? Why are you so emotional on network? Because if they wore my shoes for 40 years, they'd understand why I'm emotional. I've talked to little girls as young as 9 years old that were raped multiple times by the cartel members. And when you get to your knees and you talk to that little girl and everything innocent and pure has been ripped from her, when you listen to the Laken Riley, 17 minutes, that young lady fighting for her life, Don't just think, okay, a young woman died. Think of how she died, the terror that she went through, and these children that are sexually assaulted. I stood in the back of a tractor trailer and 19 dead people at my feet that baked to death. Illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. And so every sick person we take off the streets, especially child rapists, it makes this country much safer. Every illegal alien we arrest, public safety threat, one at a time, makes this country safer.
All right, like I said, Tom Homan with Caroline Leavitt earlier today at the press briefing. Like I said, they did it like 8:30 this morning. I think they should have held off, at least wait till 10 o'clock or something. But either way, Tom Homan's not messing around. You know, he's talking about 9-year-old girls he's interviewed that have been sexually assaulted. Talking about Lake and Riley, what she went through, and they displayed all that during the court hearing when they deported that monster that killed her. And then he's talking about how they're opening up trailers and there's people in the back who have been abandoned because they didn't survive being smuggled into the country. They cooked to death in the back of a semi-trailer. And the heinous things that he's had to witness because of his job. And then we got lefties out here that are crying about mass deportation. They want to keep the monsters in the country. Obviously, that's the wrong answer. Next up, we got a little more of this. It's titled, Tom Homan, We Just Arrested a Judge. When you cross that line to impediment, you will be prosecuted, judge or not. It's coming up next. This is also a controversial thing. Lefties out here saying President Trump is arresting judges and that this is fascism and, you know, so on and so forth. But either way, it's coming up next. First, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Tom Homan speaking at the press briefing earlier today, as well as Murderers Row, which is the mugshots that are in the front yard of the White House right now. I'm a squeaky-ass chair. What's up, Big Klaus Daniels? You good boy? Yeah, you good boy. Russell Homan really cares about people? Yeah, well, he's seen the worst of the worst. It's like the law of relativity. You'd never know what good is in the world if you've never experienced bad. You know, that's the way it is. So, Tom Homan having to look at monsters every day, I'm sure he really feels for people who are victimized by those monsters. Klaus looking so snuggly. He's the beef kitty. He is. He is the beef kitty. Zero, they should have a channel on TV that does nothing but broadcast the mugshots and list their crime. Yeah, kind of like the Weather Channel or like the TV Guide. I don't know if they still have this stuff. It's been a long time since I've had cable. I mean, I was a teenager. But if they still do, yeah, they should do the same thing. We've kind of been saying that, really. Just like the national debt clock, we should have a mass deportation clock that is constantly updated. Russell, I love them showing the mugshots. Absolutely. Zero, you're hearing a low hum? I don't know. Nothing's happened. I'm not sure. I haven't touched anything. I don't know. Shroomish laws are fascist. Yeah. Jack, the dumbs want to keep their voters. Yeah, they do. That's why the Democrat leaders are coming up with these sad stories about the poor father from Maryland who just happened to be a woman-beating MS-13 illegal who was inside the country. They were demanding they wanted daily proof of life. As far as I could tell, they were not given that. Shroomish, the TV Guide channel, that's going way back. Remember the AB switch for cable? Yeah. Yep. I don't know if they still got that stuff, but, you know, they should bring it back. I think there used to be a number you could call, too, to tell what time it was. Before we had cell phones and stuff, I remember going to the wall and pulling the phone off the wall and dialing a number, and you'd listen and it'd tell you what time it is. I don't know. I don't know why I'm remembering that stuff all of a sudden. Tim, man, you watched the press briefing this morning and Tom Homan was on fire? There was a bunch of clips of him. What's up, Turbo? Happy Freedom. Winston, I bet Klaus has spider breath. He might. You never know. He'd be making out with spiders. He's not a killer. He's a lover. Era 16 time and temperature? Yeah. No ad. If they had a COVID death counter clock, we can have a deportation clock. I didn't realize they had a COVID death counter clock. But yeah, you're right. If they can count fake deaths, they can definitely count deportations. Oh, Zero, we fixed the buzzing sound? I wonder if it's the cable. Maybe the cable's... No, the cable's new. Well, as long as we fixed it. Meta 555-1212 number for time back in the day. Is that what it was? I couldn't remember what the number was. I just remember calling every once in a while to see what the time was. The power would go out, everything would be all blinking. You didn't know what the time was, so you didn't know how to set the microwave or anything. What's up, Rich? Happy Freedom. What's up, Agent O? Happy Freedom to you. Light Rain. I heard a new word. Marxist, narcissist, Marxist. Good, accurate term. That's a lot. Marxist. It's like some minute. I can't say the word. Damn it. Damn it. You guys give me all tongue-tied. What's up, Chris? Happy Freedom. Are they going after the governor of Wisconsin too? I hear he wants her out. I don't know anything about that. I don't even know who the governor of Wisconsin is. I'll have to look it up. Spray matter, you can hear the low humming sound? Well, we'll see. When we play this next video, I'll mess with the cable. What's up, Tube Steak? Happy Freedom. Tube Steak, remember when Soros said, you don't need to change the law, just change who enforces them? No, but I mean, we saw that happen. No ad. I remember putting tinfoil on the antennas to get more stations or a clearer picture. Yeah, I remember doing that too. We used to have the TVs that snapped when you click the channel and snap really loud every time you clicked it to the new channel. I mean, I'm old enough to where when I was young, we had black and white TVs. All the TVs in the house were black and white, and our living room TV was like this big box TV that was a part of the furniture. It had wheels on it and shit. Times have changed. Chase Spray, it's called a Hummer and you should be thankful. Yeah, I know. All right, let's get into this next one. Let me see. This next one's also from earlier today. This is Tom Homan saying, we just arrested a judge. When you cross that line to impediment, you will be prosecuted, judge or not. Now, when's he going to do like Congress and stuff? When are we going to see these mayors and governors, getting arrested? When are we going to see that? I'm ready for it. Either way, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
If I can also answer your question, as far as the judges, look, we just arrested a judge, Pambani, for impeding ICE enforcement removals. I said from day one, you don't have to support ICE's operations. You can support sanctuary cities if that's what you desire to do. Sanctuary cities can stand aside and watch ICE keep their communities safe, because any public official, whether you're mayor, city councilman, or governor, their number one responsibility is protection of the communities. And ICE has been clear, we're targeting public safety threats and national security threats. I can't believe there's any elected official, and especially a judge, that doesn't believe we should be doing that, and they should be helping us. But I said from day one, you can sit aside and watch, you can argue against us all you want and protest all you want, but when you cross that line, and I've said this 1,000 times, when you cross that line to impediment or knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien from ICE, you will be prosecuted, judge or not. And as far as releasing so many people, you know why the Biden administration released millions of people in the United States? No one ever talks about it. I'll talk about it. Why did they release people into the interior of the United States and put them, rather than put them into an ice bed? Why not put them in an empty ice bed at $127 a night rather than in a hotel room at $500 a night? They did it on purpose, because when you put them in an ice detention bed, they get a hearing in 35 days. Court records show 9 out of 10 people claim asylum, get an order removal, they're gone. But if you release them and put them in a hotel room at $500 a night, their hearings could be 5, 7, 9 years if you pull out all appeals. And what are they hoping for then? That another Democrat administration is in power. They can award an amnesty to millions. This is about selling this country off for future political power. That's what it was. The law clearly says if you arrive at our border without proper documentation, you shall be detained. Not maybe, not think about it, shall. And that's what President Trump's doing. Catch and release is over. That's what the law says, and that's what we've done.
Heck yeah. Tom Homan out here telling it how it is. Like I said, the lefties, they're crying about everything right now. TikTok and X and all. I mean, probably Blue Sky. I don't go over there, but it's like everywhere where there's a lefty shitting in their hand, they're complaining about President Trump. They're complaining about judges being arrested. They're claiming that children are being arrested. They're claiming that black Americans are being deported, as well as children being deported. They're claiming this mass deportation is bad. I'm waiting for them to accuse the Trump administration of human trafficking. That'll be rich when they get to that point. It's inevitable. It'll get to there eventually, because they're claiming that half these people that are being sent to El Salvador are not actually gang members, and half the people being deported are not illegal. So, you know, this is what happens when you take opinions from people that do fentanyl. The lefties out here, they're just raping the minds of normies with just false narratives. Next up, Trump welcomes Philadelphia Eagles at the White House. This is a short video. It's coming up next. This is just from stuff that happened today. They were busy at the White House today, and, well, I was busy myself. Otherwise, we would have covered it live. Either way, let's read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Tom Homan. Ten-man Homan laying the smackdown. Absolutely. Zero, back when the kids were the remote control? Yeah. Jay Spray, I bought my dad his first big screen TV back in the early 2000s. Now anything under 64, he acts like he can't see it. Yeah, Jay Spray, you spoiled him. You spoiled him. My biggest TV in the house is a 40-incher, and I have to actually like stand back away from it. Otherwise, I feel like I'm doing this. Like I sit so close to it when I'm playing the game or whatever, I have to like move my head to see each side of the screen. So these two curved monitors that I use for the live, these are 26-inch or something weird like that. But I've never had a TV bigger than 40 inches. Hey, thank you for being here, Calax. Don't work too hard out there. Bill Clay, he could have picked the mic up at the podium and dropped it. Absolutely. The press would have been scared, but you know. Pumpkin, my dad was a TV repairman. He quit when they changed from using tubes. Yeah. That's how mechanics feel right now with the electric cars. Tow people are like that too, because electric cars are hard to tow. Because once they lose battery power, they just freeze up, and they're all-wheel drive, so they have to just drag them up a flatbed and all of that. Yep. That's why I keep saying that we have to deal with the damn AI. Even though AI is stupid in a lot of different ways, we either adapt to it or we will get left behind. The AI is not going to go anywhere. That shit is here to be. Like just like computers, just like the internet, just like email, just like flat screen TVs. It ain't going anywhere. And so we got to get used to it, because if we avoid it, we'll be left behind. And you know, that's the way it is. It sucks, but that's how it goes. Bill Clay, I had an old box TV that lasted 20 years. Yeah, I still got a box TV that I've had since I was a teenager that works. I've had this TV 8 years so far. I remember when the flat screens came out, they said they only last like a year or two. And like I said, I've had this one almost a decade. No ad. I remember black and white when I would watch reruns of The Twilight Zone. I used to watch Married with Children in black and white. Totally care. That's why we had kids before remote controls. Yeah. Shroomish, the Spice Channel. I forgot about that. Unlocking core memories. Lisa Homan's the find out in FAFO. Yeah, he is. Russell, I am AI. Mm-hmm. What's up, Murdercom? Happy freedom. Murdercom, man, you gotta love it that I went to 3 places before figuring out where to vote. Couldn't just make it easy and use the last place I voted. Stupid card said hotel, but nah, it's at the casino that has the same name. Ah, what a pain in the ass. Did you notice anything weird, Murdercom? We covered a video a little bit ago where there was an individual who had a ballot box with him that was full of sealed ballots, and he supposedly was taking them home, and some random individual in Canada was videotaping him and pulled over and asked him questions and stuff, kind of interviewed him. But it seemed like some suspicious activity was going on with the Canadian election today. And so I brought up that many of you Canadians are probably still out voting, and when you get in the chat, was curious if any of you guys seen anything kind of off. What's up, Captain Nick? Happy freedom to you. Jay Muzu, don't worry. They will tow trucks for EVs. First, we have to do away with the traditional towing. Yeah. Well, and I think it depends on who you call too, because you got people who are doing things traditionally. You got other people who are trying to stay up to date with the times, so they have the proper equipment to, handle that. Plus, they got people who actually know what's what. When an electric car battery dies, they can figure out how to put it in neutral. Chef S, happy freedom to you. Be kind and rewind. It's been a while. What's up, Juggalo? Happy freedom. Now they're addicted to Xboxes and PlayStations. Yeah. What's up, Cat Scratch? Cat Scratch. Deport them all, and Dora the Explorer has to go as well. Yep. Chris, wonder how many higher ups will get arrested. I don't know. I thought we would already see that stuff, but keeping hope alive. That's all we could do. Light Rain, my biggest screen is a tablet. Yeah. Cac, Homan's the man. I think so. What's up, TJ? Happy freedom. The number is 342 time, and it still works. Oh yeah. That seems suspicious. What's up, guess I'm happy freedom. Russell, I'm ready for the hollow deck. Coming soon. What's up, SOS? Happy freedom to you. Stoner, I don't know what Elon is complaining about. My Tesla stock went up $20 since I bought it. Yeah. What is Tesla stock doing right now? Because they were saying that Tesla stock went down like 80%. It don't look like it. Okay, so this is Tesla stock. Well, this is one day. This is in the last 6 months. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good for 6 months. Let's do 1 year. Yeah, that kind of hurts. That kind of hurts. So it's about where it was in November. That's not terrible. It's not great. It's not where it was in December. It was highest performing December 17th. $479 here is a share. Right now it's $284 here. So yeah. It's hurting, but I don't know. They always talk about stock like it's all going to end. Every time they talk about the stock market going down, they're like, oh my God, we're not going to make it. And the next day, everything's in green. And they're like, well, it'll be all right. I'm like, oh, okay. Stoner bought the dip. Hell yeah. SOS ballot counting time, hooligans. Yes. Murdercom. I didn't see anything off. Saw more black people than I have before in my town. That's probably nothing. Nice, quick, and simple. Well, maybe they felt strongly about coming out and vote this year. Maybe there was something promised that they really liked. Murdercom saw a crazy stat today that the UK right-wingers are about as left-leaning as Korean or Germans. Interesting. I don't know anything about that. What's up, Dead End? Happy freedom to you. Zero market corrects itself. Yeah. Yeah, and they like to bring up every time it's going down because they want to make people afraid. And that also helps adjust it. So a lot of people get in really early, and then they'll either have people buy or have people sell. And there's a lot to it. But most of the time when people are online giving advice about the stock market, from what I understand, they usually have quite a bit invested. And so the advice that they're giving you, whether it's buying or selling, is to benefit their own stock portfolio. They don't really have good advice. They just want everybody to lean one way or another to benefit the stock that they've already invested in. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, we'll go ahead and move forward here. Like I said earlier today, Trump welcomes Philadelphia Eagles at the White House. It's a fairly short video. Like I said, we're more or less just covering it because it happened today. And Trump was there. So why not? Hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Well, thank you very much, everybody. It's an honor to be with this incredible group of champions, great team. And we're thrilled to welcome everyone to the White House, special place, and to celebrate the Super Bowl 59 champion, the Philadelphia Eagles. And that was a special day. That was a big one. But the Eagles have turned out to be an incredible team, an incredible group with a fantastic coach and coaches. And having you at the White House is very, very special and important. And we appreciate you being here. Well, thank you very much.
All right. So like I said, that's from earlier today. I think it was about 3 p.m. Eastern time, when we were supposed to be going live. President Trump welcoming the Philadelphia Eagles to the White House. We'll go ahead and get right into this next video. This is a follow-up video. This is titled, "We Noticed Security Issues with ActBlue's Dem Fundraising." Now, we covered, it was either Friday or Saturday, that ActBlue was going to be investigated. Now, apparently, it's been investigated for months. I can't remember how long, but this has been an ongoing thing. Apparently, they didn't tell us until last week. But this is something that has been going on. It seems like they've done the whole investigation, or they've at least gone through most of it. They found tons of discrepancies. But I didn't really notice them saying they were going to do anything about it. They didn't really mention anybody getting in trouble or anything like that. They're just kind of like, well, we need to tighten up so things are more secure. Not real impressed with that, but either way, maybe there's something I missed. I don't know. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and let's get into this.
Well, President Trump wanting the DOJ to act on ActBlue, the Democrat fundraising platform the president wants investigated for potential, what he calls fraud and illegal foreign contributions to U.S. political candidates.
Yeah, so the president posting on Truth Social yesterday that he wants ActBlue to be looked at by authorities now, calling it a scam.
Joining us now is the chairman of the Committee on House Administration, Wisconsin Congressman Brian Stile. So, Congressman, you led a House investigation into ActBlue where you found an alarming amount of evidence suggesting potential campaign finance fraud and violations, basically between ActBlue, the Democrats. I mean, tell us more about that investigation and what you uncovered.
Over 18 months ago, I began an investigation into ActBlue because we discovered significant lack of financial protocols in place on the platform. Let me give you an example. If you go online, you need to buy almost anything. You have to enter that 3 or 4 digit code on the back of your credit card. That's a CVV number. If you go on to make a donation on ActBlue, when we began our investigation, you didn't even need to enter a CVV number. That raised a lot of alarms and alarm bells as to why were there lax security protocols on the platform. And the concern is that individuals would be able to go online, go on to ActBlue and make a donation in the name of another individual. This is uniquely concerning when we think about foreign interference, that a foreign agent could be transferring money, utilizing the ActBlue platform and donating in someone else's name. The bottom line is we need to make sure that online giving platforms are secure, that people are who they say they are. Our investigation has answers to solve the policy of this to make sure it never occurs in the future. The good news is now with Pam Bondi at the Attorney General's office and a Trump-forward Department of Justice, we have an opportunity to also hold any bad actors that we discover accountable.
Yeah, good point. And as you can imagine, though, some Democrats and some members of the media are all claiming this is a weaponization of the Justice Department against political opponents. I think we've heard that before. Take a listen to this.
They can kneecap campaigns like ours and starve our campaigns of the resources that we need to be successful, then they can hold on to power without having to put up much of a fight.
Using it literally as a political weapon to go after your political opponents, Democrats in this case, and talk about a chilling effect that you mentioned earlier, and try to wipe out Democrats' ability to raise those small dollar donations.
This is very ironic. What's your response to that narrative?
Well, the answer is we want our campaign finance system to be secured, in particular that we know people that are donating are the individuals that they say they are. There's security protocols that should be in place across all of these platforms, in particular at a period of time where we know our adversaries around the globe are more than interested in undermining our democracy. I would ask our Democratic friends to join us in this effort to make sure that we're securing our campaign finance system to prevent any abuse or fraud that may be occurring.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, real quick, Congressman, on that subject, are you aware of WinRed, which is the Republican online platform? It's the counterpart, obviously, to ActBlue, puts in those kinds of safeguards that you were talking about that don't exist on the Democrat side?
Well, my example at the beginning, that 3 or 4 digit code on the back of your credit card is CVV number. When our investigation began, WinRed was requiring that standard security protocol. ActBlue was not. But at the end of the day, we want all of these online platforms to be following a secure protocol. We saw good steps forward with WinRed and other platforms. We noticed some real lack of security with ActBlue when our investigation began.
All right, Congressman, great to see you this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Okay, so they know the Democrats are doing something weird with their fundraising with ActBlue. They're making claims that people have donated 10,000 times in a year. People who are under the poverty limit. People who don't have jobs making tens of thousands of dollars in donations. They are suspicious that there is foreign entities that are giving money to ActBlue. And supposedly that's the whole point of the investigation. But like they were saying in that video, it's more like they care about fixing it so things are more secure. So when these donations are made, they can only be made if they're legit. They didn't talk about taking anyone to jail or figuring out like who's connected to doing all this stuff. They just want to straighten the system out. But if we don't have accountability, they'll just continue to find ways to lie, cheat, and steal. If there's no consequences, why would they ever stop lying, cheating, and stealing? So, I mean, it's great and all. They want to fix the system, make it more secure, but they need to figure out who's connected to these doll hairs that are coming in and probably take them to jail. You know, whatever. The punishment needs to fit the crime. So They need to investigate this, and they need to hold these people accountable that are tied into these weird donations that are coming in. Either way, next up, we got more than 100 border crossers arrested in Colorado nightclub raid. We're going to be getting into this mass deportation part of the live. And we got 3 videos that are all related to it. Then we got lefties losing it at the end here. Either way, it's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about ActBlue. Zero O'Keefe exposed this 3 years ago. Yeah. I wish they would hold people accountable. Like, it's great that they talk about all this bad stuff going on, but I wish they would stop it from happening. Guess ActBlue's in bed with the Clinton Foundation? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Russell, ActBlue is crooked as balls. Yep. Well, Democrats doing Democrat stuff. Zero, I'm glad that they're investigating it, though. Yeah. Puff of stuff. Happy freedom to you. 51%, 43%. Conservatives ahead in Canada, but it's just starting. Interesting. Thank you for the update. Jack, China, foreign, China entities, China. Yeah, I'm thinking so. No ad. It's always confession through projection with them. They're accusing us of what they are doing, and they're a bunch of freaking thieves. Yep. Well, and they were saying same thing about President Trump before he won the election. They were like, if he wins, he's going to use lawfare against him, or against the Democrats, as they were currently using lawfare against him. No ad. What is the team? The Philadelphia Eagles? Is that what it is? Yeah, Philadelphia Eagles. Their quarterback didn't go. Why? Because he's an anti-Trumper? Sounds like they need a new quarterback. Too old to care with no accountability. They'll just keep doing it. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't know why they're scared to hold people accountable. Meta accountability. Absolutely. What's up, Cookie? Happy freedom. What's up, Karma Carson? Happy freedom to you. Thank you so much, Karma Carson, for joining the membership program over on Twitch. And welcome to the family. If you're officially a hooligan. Now I appreciate you, Karma Carson. Thank you. You're awesome. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom. ActBlue was collecting BLM donations on BLM's website in 2020. I remember that. They're not going to bring that stuff up, though. What's up, Larry? Happy freedom to you. Find out who's giving the fake donations. Have them refund the money to those whose name they used. That's an idea. Yeah, they were saying all kinds of stuff. Like I said, 10,000 donations from an individual who is below the poverty line. And just doing a bunch of corrupt stuff. What's up, Teasel? Happy freedom. Sean, that was fake news reported by NPR. It was debunked. Oh, wait a minute. What are we talking about here? I think you're responding to somebody. Vinny C., I heard the Eagles weren't interested in going to the White House because of Trump. Oh, interesting. I wonder if the quarterback really didn't go. I don't watch sports, so I don't even know. I had to go back and see what city the Eagles is for. What's up, Information Warlord? Happy freedom to you. Oh, Klaus Daniels. He's about to fall off Klaus Tower here. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. Like I said, more than 100 border crossers arrested in Colorado nightclub raid. All right, let's get this pulled up. Hit the like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Agents arresting more than 100 migrants during a raid on an underground nightclub in Colorado.
Doug Lazader is joining us from Washington with all the details. Good morning, Doug.
Carly and Todd, good morning. This was a dramatic raid over the weekend. More than 100 people detained from this underground nightclub in Colorado Springs, including alleged illegal immigrants and U.S. service members. This is how it all played out.
This is the DEA. All aspects of the structure. Exit the structure with your hands up.
You see all the people streaming out of the club there. It's a big operation. It included some 300 law enforcement officers from at least 10 federal agencies. In addition to the illegal immigrants, the DEA says more than a dozen active duty U.S. service members were also detained, some of whom were said to be working security. The agency also says the club has been linked to gang members from Tren de Aragua and MS-13. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi posted this on X. This morning, the DEA apprehended over 100 illegal aliens at an underground nightclub frequented by Tren de Aragua and MS-13 terrorists. Cocaine, meth, and pink cocaine seized. 2 people were also arrested on existing warrants. As we approach his 100 days in office, President Trump's directive to make America safe again is achieving results. And let's take a look at what that building looks like after the raid. You see it boarded up there. We may hear much more about this through the course of the morning. In about 2 hours and 15 minutes, there's going to be a joint briefing from White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt and border czar Tom Homan. Todd.
Okay. So that's kind of a small summary of the 100 border crossers that were arrested in a Colorado underground nightclub full of MS-13 and Tren de Aragua and other illegal festive goers there. We're going to get right into this next video. This is a continuation of the same subject here, but this is with Pam Bondi. This is titled, Bondi Reveals Shocking New Details on Colorado Nightclub Raid. Hit that like button if you haven't already, and let's get into this.
Meanwhile, I'm here at the White House as President Trump is going to mark 100 days in office tomorrow. Today, he is highlighting his border agenda. Attorney General Pam Bondi is here now, and she has everything to do with the video you just saw in Colorado Springs. Ms. Attorney General, thanks so much for seeing me. My first time seeing you since you got the job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us what you were thinking about when we were watching that video seconds ago.
America is safer tonight thanks to Donald Trump. Last night, Brian, what they did, to back up, during the Biden administration, they received 170 911 calls to that club alone. That club we were just watching, 170 calls. Wouldn't you think that would have been a red flag? Nothing happened. Guns, shootings, ag batteries, nothing happened. So under Donald Trump, DEA, FBI, U.S. Marshals, ATF, ICE, everyone went in together. DEA led this investigation. Went in, got 115 illegal immigrants, aliens in our country, arrested them, 2 with warrants, 12 guns seized. So what would happen in this club is you would go in, security would give you a menu of drugs, cocaine, there's something new called pink cocaine, meth, you could go in a bathroom stall, get that, there was prostitution, all these things going on. And we just now identified a member of Sinaloa cartel was also in there.
So that's interesting because it's not a sanctuary city, right?
No.
Denver is. But Colorado Springs isn't. You look at this for the longest time. What is the downside of raiding that club during the Biden years? Like, what's the negative side of it? Do you prefer illegal drug use and illegal aliens?
And prostitution and the violence and the shootings and the guns that was happening in that club, and no one.
So I just want to point out really quick because I forgot. There's a green vehicle to the left of that white van that has a giant Hoonigan sticker on the back. We were talking about that earlier. It's not a hooligan sticker, it's a Hoonigan sticker. Anyways.
Did anything after 170 911 calls. Yet President Trump immediately, that was a really dangerous operation too. And that's why there were 300 agents all working hand in hand, and that's what Donald Trump has done so well. All of our agencies work so well together. Went in there, got these bad guys out, 115 arrests, 12 guns off the streets, lots of drugs off the streets now, less prostitution as a result of it.
You know, it's so interesting. I know Kellyanne Conway did a great job focusing on fentanyl when it started emerging as the plague that's killed our country and so many young people in the first term. But you guys have really amped it up working with border security. In terms of fentanyl, taking it off the streets, do you have a number there?
Yeah, Brian, when I was state AG, I actually worked with Kellyanne when she was in the White House on this because the fentanyl was just emerging on the market. And yes, now since Donald Trump has been in office, DEA has seized over 21 million fentanyl pills. That's 21 million lives saved, in my opinion, off the streets.
No doubt about it.
All right, Pam Bondi there talking about more than 115 border crossers arrested at their illegal nightclub. Little shindig they had going on there. Next up, massive ICE operation leads to 800 border crossers being arrested in Florida. Good. Good stuff. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you Hooligans think about these 100 border crossers being arrested while they were out there clubbing. They were in the club. I mean, I thought it said hooligan. No, and someone brought that up earlier. Let me see. I forgot when we were watching the bigger video here. Let me see if I can find it so we can see it clearly. Because, yeah, it's a hoonigan tag on the back of the car. Yeah, right there. Boom. So you can see it. It's it just happens to be a Subaru. Just happens to be. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's an Outback. I don't know. It looks kind of weird from that angle, but you can clearly see in this picture it's a Hoonigan sticker from Ken Block. But yeah, close. Close. I saw it too when I was scrolling through X and I came across this clip. I was like, oh shit, there was a hooligan there? Like, that's not going to look well. And then I was like, oh no, it's a Hoonigan sticker. Either way, reading through the chat. Guess Hoonigan is racing like Ken Block? Yeah. Yep. Hair juicer drug menus? That's disgusting. Where? Where's that at? How are they getting the pink cocaine or whatever? They were hitting Diddy up for that? Never heard of pink cocaine until they raided Diddy's house. Now everybody's got it? Guess she looks classy there, but I'd have to see her nude to make a final judgment. I mean, that makes sense, you know. I appreciate your dedication to detail there, guess. Lisa made me think of you. Well, that's nice, Lisa. Yeah, and like I said, I saw it. 10 Man saw it. It was a close one. There was no hooligans present during that time, though. Puffin stuff. Diddy said he has a mental condition that made him do things. There's always an excuse. Totally care busted. Yeah, I thought it was interesting to see them scurrying out of their little makeshift nightclub that they had going on there. That was pretty humorous. Meta, Florida too. Go Trump. That's right. And it's interesting that they had Pam Bondi. Oh no, Pam Bondi was talking about Colorado. I was going to say, because Pam Bondi's from Florida. What's up, Wiggly Tough? Happy Freedom. What's up, Smelly? Happy Freedom to you. 14 servicemen arrested too with them. They were security. Yeah. Yeah. Nobilis, I never heard of it either before Diddy. It's food coloring mixed in with cocaine and ecstasy. I mean, that makes sense. Nobilis is a brand name. Hoonigan? Yeah, it's Ken Block. Watch, I'll find something, and as soon as you see it, then you'll be like, oh, okay, because like everybody has seen the Ken Block stuff. Let me see. I don't want to go to fucking Instagram. That's for pedophiles. Not that YouTube's any better. Oh, I forgot. They put the stupid Hoonigan shit in Forza. Let me see. This is Ken Block shit. All he does is crazy shit. Well, he did. See, it says Hoonigan across his ass and the bumper. We're not going to play this whole thing. YouTube probably come after me. But anyways, this is what he's pretty much known for, is like stunt driving and all of that. Like I said, he died winter before last, or maybe it was the year before that. He got in a snowmobiling accident. Didn't survive it. I think the brand lives on, though. I don't know if he's got kids or if he has teammates or something that race, but I'm pretty sure the Hoonigan brand is still alive and strong, even though Ken Block is no longer with us. But this is what he's known for, is doing crazy stunt videos and stunt driving and racing and all of that. And like I said, they put the Hoonigan brand in Forza Horizon 5, I think it is, which is a video game for Xbox and PC. I think it might be coming to PlayStation soon, but all the Hoonigan cars are over on that video game. It's a big brand name in the car industry and slick driving and all of that. Zero, you've never seen Ken Block stuff? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a niche market, you know, if you either pay attention to, like, I don't want to call it street racing, like stunt racing, or you don't. You know, the only reason I really know about it is because WMM really likes cars. He's always liked cars and stuff, so every once in a while he'll send me Ken Block videos, or he used to, so that was the only reason why I even knew what Ken Block was. Jay Spray, most Hoonigans are hooligans. They just haven't found the channel yet. Yeah, that's true. And like I said, a couple of years ago, I kept getting backlash because the font is the same, which was just a coincidence. I wasn't trying to rip off Hoonigan, because Hoonigan was live and well before we, were here doing the thing. And so I wasn't ripping them off, but every once in a while we'd have people that were Ken Block fans, and they would be like, you're stealing his font and blah, blah. And that's not true, but, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, I guess some Ken Block's not with us anymore. Guess some. Don't do that. Look at this. And on the left side it says Jeff, and on the passenger side it says Klaus. It's Klaus Daniels. They got us. They got us, buddy. Yep, they got us. The little Klaus toes. Yeah, you didn't know Klaus does yoga? He does yoga on the weekends. He teaches a class here. Yes. It's a good Klaus. Jay Spray, obviously Diddy has mental issues. I mean, that's true. Jay Spray, Ken Block did a 360 over an airplane with his car. That's badass. I don't think I've seen that video. You just singing in the chat there, Information Warlord? Well, I appreciate it. Tim, man, you didn't know he was dead? Yeah, I think we covered it. He died in a snowmobile accident, but I don't know much about it. At the time, they were saying that the family just wanted to be left alone. Told the Care Blast and some Beastie Boys? Heck yeah. Pumpkin, Klaus is such a sweet boy. He is. What's up, Mr. Coffee? Happy freedom. What's up, Cinderella? Happy freedom to you. Mr. Coffee, pink Coke is usually made from re-rocking Coke. They normally use nail polish remover to add cut. To add cut in and make it back into a solid piece. I don't know anything about any of that, Mr. Coffee. What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom. Cat Scratch, that's Klaus Daniels. You don't know Klaus Daniels? The hooligan cat. What's up, Blonde Beard? Happy freedom. Blonde Beard, ironically, that's actually Travis Pastrana. Is that how you say his name? Yeah, but that's what I mean. He's a part of the whole deal. Ken Block and all of, or Hoonigan and all of that. Travis, however you say his name, Travis, he's involved in a lot of stuff. Zero, I have Newsmax on, and it's like they're following Jeff. They're 30 minutes behind with the same news. Yeah, Zero, they gotta keep up. Guess pink Coke is when you let the girls make it. Yeah, see, that makes sense. Pumpkin, you've never heard of Ken Block? Shroomish Travis Pastrami is what I call him. I mean, that's a lot easier to say than whatever his name is. What's up, Bloopy? Happy freedom. Blonde Beard. Pastrana is a freak of nature. He's a legend. It's going to be weird when we don't have legends anymore and all we got is blue-haired weirdos who pray to their phones and shit. Zero, they just showed the Pritzker video. Yeah. Pretty soon Newsmax be hitting me up, telling me they want me to work for them. Sorry. They got to come be Team Hooligan. That's the only way. Either way, we're going to get into this next one. Like I said, massive ICE operation leads to 800 border crossers being arrested in Florida. So that's 915 border crossers being arrested in the last week or so. Let's see here. Yes. All right, once again, this is massive ICE operation leads to 800 plus border crossers being arrested in Florida. Hit the like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
Illegal migrants have been arrested so far in a massive ICE operation in Florida, which is known as Tidal Wave. Dana Marie McNichol is in Miami for us. What do we know about these people, Dana Marie?
Hey, Stuart. Well, ICE says this first-of-a-kind operation targeted major cities in Florida. So local law enforcement and federal partners like ICE and CBP, they worked alongside each other. They describe who they caught in that group as violent, illegal immigrants. Now, ICE officials tell Fox News the arrests include a man convicted of homicide in Colombia who entered the U.S. undetected as a getaway, a Russian national with an Interpol red notice for manslaughter, an alleged Guatemalan MS-13 gang member, and a man from Honduras, a suspected terrorist member of the 18th Street Gang. Both gang members, ICE say, have illegally re-entered the U.S. multiple times. The Department of Homeland Security is calling the large-scale operation a major success and says it's a preview of what's to come across the nation.
We have partnerships under 287G authorities that Secretary Noem signed, and this empowers state and local law enforcement to actually be able to use their enforcement authority to carry out immigration enforcement. And what that means is they can actually make arrests and clean up our streets.
Now, Florida is leading the nation, the only state where all sheriff's departments signed up to gain immigration authority under the 287G program you just heard her speak about. Immigration advocates say the operation is meant to create fear amongst the immigrant community in a state where 1 out of 5 people, that's 20% of Florida's population, is foreign born. And Stuart, ICE says Operation Tidal Wave is still ongoing. And just this morning, we heard from Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who reiterated the fact that this type of operation will be replicated across the country.
All right, Dana Marie.
Well, we hope so. That's what we voted for. So like I said, 915 border crossers arrested over the last week. It's a ways from 25 million, but it's a good start. The last I heard, we were like 38,000 illegals deported or something like that. So we got to get those numbers up if we're going to actually get rid of the 25 million illegals over the next 4 years. But it's so difficult because these stupid judges stand in the way every chance they get. And Supreme Court's even flip-flopping. For a while, they said it was okay to deport everyone. And then a week later, they turned around and said, nah, it's not okay. And just stifling this mass deportation that America voted for. Next up, we got the last little bit of the news before we get into the fun stuff. It's titled Lefties Losing It, and this one is MSNBC's host hypocrisy exposed after arrest of activist judge. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about this 800 border crossers being arrested in Florida. Guess Florida is heavy in Cuban immigrants. Yeah, they were just coming in, just landing right on shore there. Hair juicer more. That's right. Guess what is that movie called? I've seen clips of it, but I don't know what the movie is. SOS, why not just round them up and stop advertising it? I think it's because they're not actually going to hit their goal. I mean, maybe that's not what it is. Maybe they just want to show us that they're actually doing stuff even though the judges are standing in the way. But it makes me think that they're not going to hit their goal. That they're just like, you know, here's 800. That's pretty good, right? And it's like the same thing, like they don't tell us how many are in the country. Sometimes they say, well, it's above 10 million. Sometimes they'll say it's above 18 million. President Trump said live the other day it's more than 20 million. Now, we heard from, what is his name? Tucker Carlson. He was saying it was 25 million when they were doing the RNC and all of that. And we heard a lot of people saying 25 million. And then all of a sudden they all stopped saying it. And then they started saying random numbers like that. I believe it's 25 million. That's where I'm holding the line at. So we'll see how it goes. But we got a lot more illegals to deport if we're going to hit 25 million. Resistance 800, not enough. Nope. It's a good start, but we got to get those numbers up. What are you guys talking about? We have Klaus shirts. I'm trying to think. We have shirts. Klaus has shirts. We got retro Klaus Daniels shirts. Hold on a second. Let me see really quick. Now, I don't know if we have merch that has Klaus, his actual face on it. I know that we're working on it. Let me see. But yeah, we got retro Klaus Daniels t-shirts. Hoodies, all this stuff. That's why you guys go check out the merch store. We got all kinds of stuff. We even got stickers in this. Look, we even got the cooking aprons. The goofy thing about the merch store is you have to look for the cooking aprons. They're not in any of these categories. Same thing with dog tags. You have to actually look up the dog tags. But we got all this stuff. Gotta go check it out. Jay Spray, they should make a movie like that showing how the mob took over the government. Yeah? Talking about the mass deportations. Zero, Trump says it's 25 million. I believe him. Yeah. Guess oh, it's called Legend? Interesting. Yeah, I've seen clips of that movie. I want to watch it. What's up, CB Michigan? Happy freedom to you. How many illegals are in Ludington? It's hard to say. There's not really anybody but white people in Ludington for the most part. But all around Ludington, pretty much anywhere where there's farmland, I bet there's illegals. SOS, if they admit it's 20 million, then it's 60 million. Definitely could be. What's up, Trigger Crazy? Happy freedom to you. Says, I voted. That's so badass. I was waiting to see if you were going to stop by today. Hell yeah. Pumpkin. Oh, for shirts for cats to wear? I don't know if we got that. We might have pet clothing. We used to have access to it. Oh, we do. We only got one, though. We got a kitty t-shirt. Well, it's probably for cats or dogs. No, it's sold out. They don't even have it anymore. That sucks. Yeah, they don't have it anymore. It's out of stock. That's how it goes. That's I keep telling you guys. You want tank tops? Don't wait. It'll be just like that. Oh, that's a good idea, Zero. I didn't even think of that. There, done. Thanks for the idea, Zero. Triggers, why is it your last vote? Meta cats expose their underside like Klaus is doing if they're comfortable and feel safe. Yeah. Well, and he's big and fat. He's 110% chicken. Yes. Yes. What are you gonna do? I'm just gonna keep bothering you until you look at me. Yep. Just look at your fat stomach. Oh, okay. You're a good boy. Unbothered. What's up, Eastern? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Weed? Happy freedom. Bloopy, if they're admitting to 11, 13, etc., you know it's way higher. Yeah, for sure. What's up, Corey Luca? Happy freedom. Hair juicer, do onesies for babies? Why are you having a baby, hair juicer? Get it in the air. Just put that out there into the world. I think I can't remember if we got onesies or not. How do you spell it? Let's try baby. No baby clothing. I know we had kids shirts for a while there. We still got a couple. I don't think we have baby onesies. I'll see if we can have access to that kind of stuff. See, that's why we're making the only hooligan shop, is because I can only get what they allow me to have. But once Alistair gets some free time, we should be able to have a little bit more ability to get different customizable options here. Guess just had a hot FedEx driver deliver. My balls just joined ActBlue. Holy. Russell, I know. That's what I'm saying. Trigger Crazy, I will. All right, hooligans, let's get into this last little bit of the news. Like I said, we got the fun stuff coming up next. This is Lefties Losing It. MSNBC's host hypocrisy exposed after arrest of activist judge. I'm going to let Rita tell us how it is. All right, hooligans, hit that like button over on Rumble as well as the CommuTube, and let's get into this.
When it's time for Lefties Losing It, and let's start with a musical flavour. And it seems that leftism destroys everything. Even the biggest superstars like Beyonce and Katy Perry have become figures of ridicule in 2025. Let's start with Katy, who, fresh from pretending to be an astronaut, is now being mocked for her cringe performance in her latest concert tour. Did she leave any discernible talent she had in space? I mean, imagine paying good money to see this.
prostitutes.
Now, she never had much of a voice, but if that's how she dances nowadays, I think we can give the concert a miss. You can't auto-tune whatever that was. Now, I do wonder, where did it all go so wrong for Katie? Perhaps it was on election eve last November when she posted this.
Hi guys, I'm with one of my favorite senators. This is Kamala Harris. She's going to be, well...
Or perhaps it all went pear-shaped when she posted this on election day. It's her and Orlando Bloom chumming it up with Kamala and Doug. Oh dear, now poor Katie is reduced to a punchline, and she's not alone. Pop stars don't come much bigger than Beyonce. But then she went all Kamala on us. Remember that woeful speech she gave at a Kamala rally when people thought she was going to perform? They thought they were going to get a free concert. Instead, they heard Beyonce mention a bunch of suburbs in Texas.
Texans and Houstonians from 3rd Ward, River Oaks, Sugarland, 5th Ward, A-Leaf, Memorial, Southwest Side, North Side, all the way down to Most City.
And now no one wants to go to her concerts. Daily Mail's headline reads, Beyonce mercilessly mocked as tickets for flop Cowboy Carter tour reached the same price as a McDonald's meal. Yes, she's slashed ticket prices by more than 70% and still having trouble moving them. Now, to round up our little musical interlude, let's check in with these charmers. I played this clip for you when it happened. Here is Kneecap at Coachella singing Maggie is in a Box, a song about the late, great Margaret Thatcher. Well, they've gone from that degeneracy to this. Now Kneecap are openly praising the savage mass murdering terrorists of Hamas. Oh yes, you heard right. They just praise Hezbollah and Hamas. And they have the simpletons at a music festival cheering for the type of people who slaughtered youngsters just like them at the Nova Music Festival.
The Palestinians have nowhere to go. It's their fucking home, and they're bombing them from the skies. If you're not calling it a genocide, what the fuck are you calling it?
Now, if the left didn't have double standards, they'd have no standards at all. And here is another prime example. This is Andrew Wieserman claiming that Trump being targeted with bogus charges in a shocking case of lawfare, well, that was a great day for America because it proved no one is above the law. But when an activist judge breaks real laws, well, their arrest is a violation.
He is being treated no better or worse than anyone else. This is not selective prosecution, that this is not somebody who's singled out, that he is being treated just like anyone else. That is what it means to have a rule of law. That is what the Justice Department is really signaling and messaging here, is that everyone will be treated, as Merrick Garland has said, as, equally in this country. This is really a great day for America. So there has been a violation here that we know for sure, and it is not the judge. Right, exactly. You don't do it. Even if you thought that there was a ground for doing this, the judgment call that you thought that this is the case to bring, it tells you everything. There is no adult in the room who would have said, "Are you kidding me? Why would you possibly do this?" And the answer is because we want to send a signal to the judiciary. And that's what you shouldn't be doing.
And isn't it funny how the notion that nobody is above the law disappears when leftist activist judges break laws? And these are real laws, not trumped-up charges used to stop a political candidate from winning office. Remember when Russian collusion hoaxer Rachel Maddow was all about no individual being above the law? Wonder what's changed.
Nobody's above the law.
We only have one system of law for everyone. Nothing about being an elected official gives you a license to commit crimes or a license to get away with it if you do. Why step up politically and defend a judge or a prosecutor? That's supposed to be a non-political part of our system. It's not like we didn't know it was going to be terrible. And it is terrible. He really did have a judge arrested today. Arresting a judge today. Are you kidding me?
And why was Wisconsin Judge Hannah Dugan arrested by the FBI? Now, this is the part of the story that Rachel Maddow failed to tell her audience. Let's hear from Attorney General Pam Bondi.
This guy was in court being prosecuted by a state prosecutor for domestic violence battery. He had beat up two people, a guy and a girl, beat the guy, hit the guy 30 times, knocked him to the ground, choked him, beat up a woman so badly they both had to go to the hospital. And John, you know, it's so rare for victims to want to cooperate. They wanted to cooperate. They were sitting in the courtroom with the state prosecutor. The judge learns that ICE was outside to get the guy because he had been deported in 2013, came back in our country, commits these crimes, charged with committing these crimes, victims in court. Judge finds out. She goes out in the hallway, screams at the immigration officers. She's furious, visibly shaken, upset, sends them off to talk to the chief judge. She comes back in the courtroom. You're not going to believe this. Takes the defendant and the defense attorney back in her chambers, takes them out a private exit and tells them to leave. While a state prosecutor and victims of domestic violence are sitting in the courtroom.
Joining me now is Newsweek's senior.
All right, so that is lefties losing it there. Just enough to make you sick to your stomach. Like I said, that is the last little bit of the news, and we got the fun stuff coming up next. We are going to be opening today's door of the Advent calendar that was sent to us by Hair Juicer. We got two funny videos of the day. First one's titled, Do the Secret Move. And our official funny video of the day is titled, Relationships Are Hard. All that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about these lefties losing it. Could you imagine if Klaus Daniels was a lefty? He was just wandering around with blue hair and stuff. Wouldn't tolerate it. Jay Spray, my daughter's only 7 and she understands that feelings are okay, but she also understands fuck your feelings. That's right, Jay Spray. That's right. Zero again with the liberal glasses. Yeah, it used to be just the blue hair. You could tell what you were walking towards. Poisonous frogs, brightly colored. Liberals are like that, but now they got their glasses too. I don't know if they just are called liberal glasses or they just find them in the wild like that. Not sure, but you can tell. You can tell by the eyewear now. I mean, unless it's a dude in a dress, and you can spot that from across Walmart. Russell, why are lefties so toxic? I have no idea. They weren't raised. They're just grown-ass children. Guess I don't think Rachel Mad Cow is circumcised. Is that why she's so rambunctious? Pumpkin, let's deport Mad Cow to Mars. They'd send her back. Stoner, I should have bought $1,000 worth of fart coin. Fart coin blew up. Nah, wait till AOC finds out about that. Thanks for being here, Era16. Enjoy the rest of your day. What's up, Sage Pup? Happy Freedom. Hey, thank you for being here, Viola. Vinny C. Rachel Mad Cow looks like Stephen Colbert. A little bit. A little bit. Sean, I heard today all of them preemptive Biden staff pardons didn't have a reason for the pardon, and DOJ is going after them. That's interesting. I wonder how that'll turn out. Cinderella, she has an Adam's apple? You mean he has an Adam's apple? What's up, MD Cyron? Happy Freedom to you. Vinny C, go woke, go broke. That's right. What's up, man? Rogers, happy freedom to you. Oh, love you too, Trick Crazy. CB Michigan. I think Rachel Madcow looks like Beaker from the Muppet Show. I think you're right. It's been a long time since I thought about the Muppets. Trick Crazy is so gay. Just gay for you, Trick Crazy. All right, hooligans, like I said, we're going to get into the fun stuff. We're going to be opening today's door of the Advent calendar sent to us by Hair Juicer, and we got our 2 funny videos of the day. But before we get into this, I want to remind you hooligans really quick, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the links in the description in order to send donations. You could do that by using PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Zelle, Venmo, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, and you can even send crypto. Let's see what we get today from the Advent calendar. This is our survival Advent calendar. It's holy. It's holy. We could take this to church with us because it's holy. We'll see what we get. Try not to press any buttons this time. Come on, man. Today is, and I pressed the damn button. That's how it goes. Is it day 12? Day 13? 12. Let's see what we get. Yeah. No way. It's empty again. This is the second time we had this happen. It's empty right here. This is where it's supposed to be. So we're gonna go to day 13. I think what happens is I think this top layer here is lifting up and the pieces are falling into different slots. I think that's what's happening. I don't know. Eventually we're gonna start opening things that got more than one item inside, I guess we'll say. Let's try 13. I am tearing this up. That's what he said. Not good. It's not good. It doesn't sound the same when you say it like that. Come on, man. Okay, we're just kind of tearing shit up at this point. There's nothing in 13. Holy crap, what is going on here? Hair Juicer snuck the shit out of the calendar before he sent it to me. Let's try 14. Moving right through the calendar here. What the fuck? Okay. I don't know what this is. I think it's a wallet. I don't know what this is. Maybe it would make sense if we would have seen what was in the earlier ones. It's a little leather. I don't know what it is. It's from my dog tag, so when they discover my body out in the woods near near the Lake Michigan and a bottle of alcohol, they'll know who I am. I guess. I don't know. Very weird. I think as we move forward, we're getting to the end here. A couple more days left. I think we're going to start coming across more than one item per slot. Either way, thank you so much, Hair Juicer. We're going to throw this in our survival bag here. Yeah. There we go. All right, let's get into our funny videos of the day. I always forget what the videos are at first. It's nice. It's nice. All right, so this is our first one. This is titled Do the Secret Move.
Grab his dick and twist it! Oh my god. Oh, dick twist!
Yes. Do the secret move. That's right. All right, getting into our official funny video of the day. This is titled Relationships Are Hard.
apartment right here behind me over my left shoulder, where 35-year-old Darius Smith was found beat to death.
Well, gal dang. That's how it goes. Either way, that is all the coffee I had for you hooligans today. And grab this Linktree link really quick. We're going to drop it in all the chats, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. All right, hooligans, there is the Linktree link where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, I would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Definitely go join Discord. Discord is our free hooligan community. It's the best way to be notified every single time we go live. The hooligans are there keeping the conversation going 24/7, and we have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything around the world going on around the world. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there while watching the live. You will also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. You'll have access to the forums, the arcade, and our advanced messaging system with the built-in group chats. So definitely go join jeffmaclive.com. It's the home of the hooligans. We're going to read through, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Russell, oh my God. In high school, this chick did that to her boyfriend, and he was never the same. Oh, I believe it, Russell. I believe it. Oh, I just clicked the wrong button. There we go. Holy. Clicking all the wrong buttons. Get some evidence. Look at Cat Daniels. He thought we didn't take any pictures, but we did. Yes, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Hey, thank you, Pumpkin. You're the bestest. Appreciate you being here. Stoner, she should have gave him the old dick twist. Yeah, that's the finisher move. Told to the Nutcracker. Classic. Resistance, do you take food stamps? No, we pretty much take everything except for food stamps at this point. Could you imagine if we accepted EBT? I wonder what that would look like in taxes. Chicky Chops, happy freedom to you. Zero, I missed it. What'd she say? Oh, clicking all the wrong buttons? Yeah. Yeah. Thank you to all the care. Be blessed. Thank you, MU. All right, hooligans, it is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. When the cat kicks you, you got to kick him back. I don't even know if I did it right. Sitting here playing footsie with Klaus. Jesus loves us. Either way, we're going to read through the chat one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. But we are wrapping this up. We'll be live again tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Hey, thank you for being here, Hair Juicer. Thank you, 10 Man. Thank you, Rappy. Thank you, Too Old to Care. Oh, I appreciate you, Rappy. Thank you, MU. Thank you, Meta. Oh, love you too, Cheeky Chops. All right, well, it looks like we're good to go. Much love to you, Pumpkin. Like I said, we'll be live again tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. We'll see if we got a press briefing that's going to be like more of a manageable time, not 8:30 in the morning, but, you know, we'll see. Either way, like I said, Coffee with Hooligans, 3 p.m. Eastern time. I appreciate all of you guys being here. Go get some good food. I'm going to do the same. I'm sitting here starving. Be safe if you decide to leave the house. Those crazies, they're out there, and they got eyewear and everything else. They ain't got no wieners, though. Weird people. Either way, I appreciate all of you guys. Definitely make your way back to us tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support, and I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.